Hello and welcome to McCormick Gymnasium on the campus of Shanley High School for a North Dakota High School basketball matchup between the West Fargo Packers and the Shanley Deacons. I'm Brayden Altringer alongside my partner Andy Simon. Before we break this game down for you and actually get into the game itself, we're going to send it down to the PA in a short minute for a couple announcements.
Testing 1, 2. Testing 1, 2, 3. For tonight's Eastern Dakota Conference girls basketball matchup, featuring the visitors on the scoreboard, the West Fargo Packers, and your home team, Shanley Deacons. Shanley High School would like to remind all fans that we are a tobacco, drug, and alcohol-free campus. Thank you for respecting the rules while on the school grounds. Also, the concession stand and restrooms are located south of the gymnasium in the commons area of the school. At this time, we ask that you please rise and bow your heads as I will lead us in prayer. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Father of wisdom, power, and might, we thank you for this opportunity to be gathered here tonight. Be with us throughout this event. Bless us. Grant to all of us, athletes, coaches, and fans, the graces to pursue excellence during this event. We pray for the safety and well-being of these athletes, and that you may be glorified in all that happens here tonight. We pray this through your Son, Jesus, by the power of the Holy Spirit, your God, forever and ever. Amen. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Please remain standing as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem. At this time, I'd like to draw your attention to the scores table. A Shanley basketball player, Henry Huber, will read the EDC Sportsmanship Creed.
The North Dakota High School Activities Association and the Eastern Dakota Conference encourage and promote the sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We ask that you cheer for your team and be respectful of the opponent. As high school student athletes, you commit to fair play, responsibility, and respect. We invite you to support our efforts.
At this time, I'd like to introduce the cheerleaders for the West Fargo Packers. Your cheerleaders tonight are Jaden Bjorn, Zoe Eberhard, Chris Fleming, Natalie Garcia, Samantha Gustafson, Gabriella Kurtz, Jada Ressler, and Kayla Walker. Her coach, Emily Chadwick. Now for tonight's starting lineups. Lineups will be done in alternating fashion. First for the visitors on the scoreboard, the West Fargo Packers. Starting in the guard, a 5'7" junior number 4, Bryn Deacon. Guard for the Deacons, a 5'10" senior number 3, Beverly Hoover. And another guard for the Packers, a 5'4" senior number 10, Claire Schaefer. Another guard for the Deacons, a 5'10" senior number 5, Riley Payne. Another guard for the Packers, a 5'9" senior number 23, McKenna Becker. Another guard for the Deacons, a 5'7" senior number 14, Aaron Manuel. A forward for the Packers, a 5'9" junior, number 40, Ashlyn Demert. A forward for the Deacons, a 5'9" junior, number 4, Leah Mellon. And that center for the Packers, a 6-foot sophomore, number 34, Jessica Rosnick. A center for the Deacons, a 6'1" junior, number 31, Furiku Hakim. The head coach of the Packers is Mike Benson, assisted by Morgan Jules, Greg Linke, and Rick Anderson. The head coach of the Deacons, Steve Jacobson, assisted by Dustin Payne and Chris Porter.
Don't go anywhere. High school basketball is next after a brief message from our Deacon partners.
This broadcast is presented by American Family Insurance, Ken Craft Agency, Bell Bank, Beyond Boundaries Therapy Services, Butler Machinery, Ed's Marine, the Fargo Jet Center, First International Bank and Trust, Forum Communications, Haley's Hope, Hurley's Religious Goods, Luther Family Buick GMC, Master Construction, Moore Engineering, Network Center, Northern Improvement, Off the Wall Advertising, Robert Gibb and Sons, Sanford, Shields, Taxman, TCI Insurance, and Wolf Steel.
Hello and welcome back. Again, I'm Brandon Altringer, joined alongside my partner, Andy Simon. In a game like this, Andy, with two very evenly matched up teams, what should we be looking forward to for both teams?
I think we got a lot of point scorers on both teams, a lot of people who can make plays when needed, and I'm expecting to see a lot of, like I said, great plays and a high-scoring affair between these two great teams.
With the Deacons already having a game under their belt, we got to think that they're going to be wanting to score early and often, don't you, with West Fargo having this be their first game?
I agree. I mean, Shanley overall, they're just a team that likes to score a lot, and especially with a great opponent like West Fargo, they're definitely going to want to be putting as many points on the board early as possible.
As we start the game with a jump ball here, looks like it will remain with the Deacons as the Packers did win the opening tip here. And for the Deacons here, Andy, who are your players to watch for the Deacons?
Well, for the Deacons, I'd say I'd probably watch out for Riley Payne and Hadley Huber. Those are two players who definitely lead the team in stats and are able to score a lot of points. But another player I'm looking for is Mo Hakeem.
And she right there, gets the cue right there with an and one.
I mean, she's just a player who has a lot of presence down low in the paint, and she's able to make great plays on both sides of the ball.
Looks like that foul will be on number 34, Jessica Walsvik, her first personal and first on the Packers. Free throw attempt is up and good by Hakeem, stretching the lead to 3 for the Deacons. Now for the Packers, who are your players to watch for them?
Well, First off, McKenna Becker, she led the team in a lot of stats categories last year, and she was just a great player overall. And also Chloe Fau, she's a great physical presence in the game, and she's a really driving force for the Packers on both offense and defense.
As the Deacons bring the ball up the floor now, led by their point guard, Hadley Huber, passes it off to Riley Payne. Payne goes right back to Huber, inside to Hakeem. Payne with a stretch pass over to Mattern. Mattern looking inside for Hakeem, but is not able. Nice pull-up jump shot by Mattern, but is not able to go. Do you expect to see a lot of transition game for both teams here, or do you think this is kind of just a fast pace to start out here?
I mean, we kind of saw the same thing the other night, or the other afternoon on Saturday, when it kind of started out pretty quick, but it gradually slowed down a little bit, and I wouldn't be surprised if we saw the same thing here tonight.
Almost a turnover there, and it will be a turnover for Hakeem there as the Packers come away with the ball. Becker now guarded closely by Huber. Hands it off to Fau. Fau over to Diemert. Mattern with the steal. Brings the ball up the floor for the Deacons. Fakes the jump shot. Looks like she is going to continue to drive. Swing pass stolen by Becker. Becker now in front of the Deacons bench there. Gives it off to Fau. Fau with the jump shot. Rebound down to Huber. Huber bringing the ball up the floor here for the Deacons. You know, it looks like the Deacons are comfortable just running their offense and not looking for a shot right away. How important is that to have that patience early in the game?
It's very important. It's always hard to keep playing in a game where you start out really fast and rushed and you almost give yourself too much pressure, and it can really just mess with your mind and how you play the game for the rest of the night.
Foul with the 2-point basket there for the Packers, getting them on the scoreboard this evening. Payne in the middle over to Manuel, looks like, and it does get stolen by the Packers. Another turnover for the Deacons. Not common for them. We'll see if that has a factor later in the game.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it's pretty surprising to see Shanley come out with as many miscues as they've had so far. Usually they're a pretty balanced, pretty confident offense, but tonight it just seems like something's a little bit off.
And Coach Jacobson does appear that he is not happy with that calling an early timeout. Not common for the Deacons there, but for the Packers, huge start for them. If you're Coach Benson, you got to be happy with that.
Definitely. They got a lot of momentum right now. I mean, like I was just saying, Shanley doesn't have a whole lot of energy so far on the offensive side. And, I mean, West Fargo, they've had a couple turnovers so far. They haven't put as many points up as they probably like, but at the same time, they're doing a great job.
We're just 3 minutes into the game here from McCormick Gymnasium for girls basketball, featuring the West Fargo Packers and the Shanley Deacons. As the two teams come out of the timeout, it will be the Deacons' ball underneath the far hoop. Another thing to watch out for the Deacons here is Emily Shramo is not suiting up tonight for them, as she is out a couple weeks after injuring her foot or leg area in last Saturday's game and re-injuring that at practice yesterday. So that'll be another thing to watch for Deacon fans.
Yeah, she was a big component. It's always nice to have two players who have a big size advantage and are able to dominate down in the paint, as we just see Mo Hakeem doing down there.
It is going to be tough for the Packers to guard her, but it looks like they're doing a great job so far. Geeson has the ball controlling the offense, almost stolen by Payne, but Becker's able to get the ball back for the Packers. Down to the corner for Diemert. Diemert with the three, and it's good! Extending the lead, actually giving the lead to the Packers by 2 points here. Huber now with the ball near side. Looking for someone in the middle, finally finds Payne over in front of the Packers bench, swings it right away over to Manuel. Manuel trying to find someone, but another turnover for the Deacons. Looks like we are going to have a foul on the play as Hannah Hodel waits to check in for the Deacons at the scoreboard. They are going to call that foul on number 14, Olivia Manuel. That'll be her first foul on the Deacons in the game. You know, last Saturday for the Deacons games, in both the girls and the boys, we had a lot of fouls right away, and that did catch up for both teams. But so far, a pretty clean game for both teams. Yeah,
I agree. I mean, we kind of saw a little bit of scrappiness in the games last Saturday with the Deacons, but so far, I mean, especially with kind of somewhat of a rivalry between the Deacons and Packers, they've come out pretty clean so far.
And there, Andy's player to watch gets another basket for the Packers, and another steal here by the Packers. Nice pass there from Deemer over to Fau, and she there again extends the lead for the Packers up to 6. I think you hit that player to watch right on the nail.
Not just that, but another thing to look out for is the energy in the Packers crowd, as they have, it almost looks like a home game for them right now. They got a lot of fans over on their side, and that could be big, especially with the momentum that the Packers have right now.
Should be a great atmosphere here tonight for the girls and the boys later. Looks like on that last play, they are going to get the foul on Bryn Geeson. That'll be her first of the game, second foul on the Packers this evening. Hodel now into the game for the Deacons. Swings it right back up to Huber. Back to Hodel. Little open space there. Decides to drive. And she will get the foul on the play, sending her to the line for 2 shots. Looks like they are going to call that on Jessica Walsvik. That'll be her second, which will most likely send her to the bench early here in the game. Hodel's first attempt from the line is good. And it looks like they are going to send Walsvik right to the bench. That's huge, losing one of your key players down low.
Yeah, it's always tough losing a player who's starting to get in somewhat foul trouble, especially this early in the game.
Looks like they are going to get a foul or early entrance there. They are going to call an early entrance, it looks like, on foul. So she will get one more attempt, Hannah Hodel, from the free throw line. Second attempt is up and good, cutting the deficit to 4 for the Deacons. Deacons are trapping their full court, which we did see on Saturday against the Saints. Expect to see them run a couple different defenses here with some zone, some man-to-man, and that full court press, as the Packers are able to do an excellent job beating that press. Foul up top now, guarded closely by Hodel. Finds an open Becker, not able to connect with Manuel coming down with the rebound. Huber now has the ball for the Deacons, swings it right over to Payne. Payne over to Hodel. Looks like she was expecting that to go to her teammate Olivia Manuel. A little confusion there, and another turnover here for the Deacons early.
Yeah, it's rough to watch them kind of try to evolve a little bit on their offensive side, but so far not a whole lot has changed. You're still just making little mistakes here and there that are costing them points overall.
Becker now running the offense. Looks like she's going to have a turnover of her own and turn it right back over to the Deacons. Not only the Deacons, but the Packers are now turning it over a couple of times.
Yeah, I mean, it might be kind of contagious for both of them just to kind of, or I shouldn't say for the Packers, but they're kind of getting into a little bit of a funk here where they're starting to have miscues similar to the Deacons on offense. And
you're curious if maybe a little bit of nerves, being this is their first game of the year. So we'll see if that is able to settle down here as the game progresses. Dabbert now in for the Deacons, puts up the three-point right away, is not able to connect with the rebound coming down to the Packers. Very nice transition pass to foul up top. Not able to finish with Manuel coming down for the rebound for the Deacons.
Another thing that I'm starting to notice here is that for both teams, not a lot of them are able to follow up on their shots and get their own rebounds. I don't think I've seen any rebound by the shot taken received by the same team, if that makes any sense.
I'm following. Offensive rebound.
Yeah, offensive rebound. There's a good way to put it.
Whatever team wins the offensive category is able probably to win this game then. Becker with the two-point basket and the foul for the Packers, extending the lead out to 6, pending the free throw line. As we see on the replay here, nice pass over to Becker from foul, able to get that one to go. And it looks like they are going to call the second foul on Olivia Emanuel, also sending her to the bench early for the Deacons. To connect on the three-point play is Becker at the line, and she's able to do so, extending that lead out to 7 for the Packers with just under 12 minutes remaining in the first half. Foul now guarding Huber in front of her own bench. Huber struggling, finds Hodel up top. Hodel then trapped there by a couple of Packers and is able to kid it over to Huber. Hakeem going to work down low, able to connect, cutting the deficit to 5 for the Deacons. Foul now bringing the ball up the floor for the Packers. Open shot in the corner for Diemert. Diemert to Becker inside, trapped there by a couple Deacons. Safely gets it out to Geeson, who swings it right over to number 12, Winkle. Geeson with a long three-point attempt, able to connect. What a play there for the Packers. That is a boost of confidence for them.
And the three ball, that could be a huge component tonight, as West Fargo's already made 2, I believe, three-pointers, and Shanley hasn't been able to make any. And, I mean, that's just that one extra point that'll give the offense a little extra edge.
Hodel to Hakeem inside, turns it over to the Packers right away. Becker now pushing the pace for the Packers. Open layup attempt and is able to convert. Pushes the lead out to 10 for the Packers. Payne into the corner to Dabbert. Dabbert looks for Hakeem, and another turnover yet again for the Deacons. Swatted there by Huber as the crowd gets a little excited for the Deacons. Looks like they are going to say it went off of Huber, and it will be Packers basketball. A couple of players now checking in for both teams here as there's 10 minutes remaining in the first half.
Yeah, it's kind of tough for the Deacons how on defense they seem pretty stable. They've been making turnovers and making some good plays, but on offense it just hasn't clicked so far for them, and they really need to get that turnaround.
Basket there for the Packers extends the lead to 12 now. Not really an answer by the Deacons so far. What do they need to do to try to answer back?
I mean, I don't know exactly what they have to do on offense. I mean, they're being patient. They're moving the ball. It's just little mistakes here and there, just as we see right there.
Blocked
that they
there
keep
by
making.
Uche. It looks like they are going to call a travel there on the Packers. So after Uche gets the block there, they turn it right back over to the Deacons. You know, one thing the Deacons need to start doing is not turn the ball over. I think that's a key part if they want to get back into this game.
Yeah, that's huge. I mean, every little bit of momentum they start to get on offense, it seems like it's always taken away by a turnover.
Mattern trap there, gives it out to Payne for the three-point attempt, and it's good. Good start there for the Deacons to cut back into this deficit. 9-point lead for the Packers as they push the pace. Looks like Becker is going to get the ball up top. Immediately gives it to Uche inside, and they are going to call a foul on the play, so that will send her to the line for 2 shots. They're going to call that on number 23 of the Deacons, Liz Dabbert, her first personal and third on the Deacons. First attempt is no good. You know, we saw in the Deacons boys game against St. Mary's last week, they didn't make a lot of free throws, and that kind of cut the margin of victory close there. How big is it to make the free throws early and often?
I mean, free throws are huge. Obviously you want to get every little point you can get, and especially once you get into a rhythm of missing free throws, that can be huge because it can just play with your mental health, I guess you could say, and just kind of start to get you in a little bit of a rut with free throws overall.
And another turnover on the Deacons. Sounds like we've been saying a lot, but we have been because they have been turning the ball over. A couple of Packers in now into the game. Almost stolen there by the Deacons, but then we are going to have it actually deflected out of bounds off of Payne, so it will stay with the Packers with about 9 minutes remaining in the first half. Becker throwing the ball in for the Packers on the near side here. Gives it to Geeson as she sets up the offense. Becker now inside to Deemer. What a pass there, but put away by Hakeem on the inside. Huber up to Mattern. Mattern swing pass over to Dabbert. Dabbert with the three-point attempt. It's up and no good as it hits the front iron with the rebound coming down to foul. Now trapped by a couple of Deacons. They do get a foul call on the play. And they are not in the bonus yet, so it will be ball out of bounds in front of the Packers bench as Manuel checks into the game for the Deacons. And they are going to call that a number 23, Liz Dabbert. That'll be her second of the game. That's now 2 players for the Deacons with 2 fouls. They got to stay out of foul trouble if they want to win and be successful.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, both Olivia Manuel and Liz Dabbert are both big parts of the Deacons offense, and they do a great job on defense, so it would be very detrimental, I should say, for the Deacons to lose them.
Nice pass up to Deemer. Deemer swings it over there. Shot is up. No good as it hit the front iron with the rebound down to Payne. Huber into the corner for Manuel. Manuel with an open 3 attempt decides to take it. Is no good. Another miss here for the Deacons as the Packers look to extend the lead. Deemer in front of the bench. Foul thinking about shooting it, but Payne right in her face, trying to make it tough. Geeson in the near corner here, looking for a screen from Becker. Gets one, but Payne is there to stop her immediately. Almost a steal there, and it looks like we are going to have a jump ball on the play as a nice defensive play there by Payne and good aggression by both teams there.
I agree. I mean, the Deacons, so far all night, they've done a good job of applying pressure and causing turnovers when needed on the defensive side. And the Packers, they've done a good job of responding to some of that pressure. But, I mean, the Deacons so far, they still don't have a lot of momentum with that empty spot on offense.
Packers just able to get a shot up, but does not hit anything. It does not matter as the rebound comes down to Hakeem. Huber on the far sideline here, looking for someone to pass to. Barely gets it to Hakeem, and it looks like they are not going to call over and back as it must have been deflected by Deemert. Huber looking for an open layup. Nice jump shot there. Does not fall. Rebound comes down to Manuel. Mattern with a nice move there is able to convert on the 2-point basket for the Deacons.
Yeah, that basket was really needed as the Deacons were really starting to lose momentum as they were missing a lot of shots prior to that.
Deemer, a miss. Another miss for the Packers here as they're on a little bit of a dry spell. after not putting up a basket in the past couple minutes here. As it goes out of bounds, it will go over to the Deacons. Hodel back into the game for Mattern. Looks like Mike Benson, head coach of the Packers, wants his team to put some pressure on and not make it easy for the Deacons. But it looks like they are able to get it past half court pretty easily. Manuel looking for someone to pass to. Payne down to the corner for Hodel. Hodel with an open three, no good, just in and out as the rebound comes down to Williams of the Packers. Looks like Deemert may have gotten away with the travel there, as they are going to call an out of bounds here on number 11 foul for the Packers.
Another thing that's kind of crucial for the Deacons offense is they just need to start making more shots. They're getting good opportunities and good open shots. It's just they're not able to get the ball in the hoop half the time.
Payne in front of the Packers bench there. Huber down to Hakeem down low, goes right through the hands, but it's fortunate that it goes off of Deemert. So it will stay with the Deacons with about 6:42 remaining in the first half. Entry pass quick to Huber, able to convert on the two-point basket. Packers weren't ready. How big is it to keep your head in the game and make sure you're paying attention at all times?
I mean, it's always very important to keep your foot on the pedal as hard as you can, no matter how far ahead you are, because you never want to let the other team get any momentum or any energy whatsoever.
Becker driving baseline, looking for a pass, finds Geeson, it looks like, up top for the three, able to convert, which finally gets the Packers back on the scoring after a little bit of a dry spout. Huber down to Hakeem early, again not able to control it, as it does go off her this time, so it will be a turnover and go over to the Packers. Now bringing ball forward is Geeson. Looks like no one was there to stop her, but Manuel steps in as the Deacons are now sitting in their 2-3 zone. Looks like they are going to switch off to man now. That's another thing to look for the Deacons, is they can play a different variety of defenses, as I mentioned earlier. Now we kind of see that come to life here in the game, as an air ball is put up there by Geeson in the far corner. Huber controlling the ball. Looks like they are going to get a reach in there on Williams. I believe that will be her first of the game, and in fact it will be. That will be the fourth team foul on the Packers, as we have a couple Packers now checking in to the game. Down low to Hakeem, looking for a shot. They are going to get a foul call there, as the Packers fans don't seem to agree with that call. However, Hakeem will be sent to the line for 2 shots. The foul is on number 22. Looks like they are going to call that on number 40, actually, Deemert. That'll be her first of the game.
And as we kind of creep closer towards the bonus, that could be huge for the Deacons going into halftime, as they're down only 7 right now. I mean, a couple extra free throws here and there couldn't hurt, and it could give them a closer point deficit going into the second half.
Hakeem's second attempt is up, and that is also good, cutting the deficit to 6 points here for the Deacons. Deacons backing off and allowing the Packers to cross the half-court line with no contest. Foul controlling the offense for the Packers, kicks it to the corner for Deemert to Hakeem. Looks like Deemert is going to try to, they are going to call a foul actually on the play on Deemert, or on Hakeem, excuse me. It'll be a blocking foul, and that will be her first of the game for Hakeem. It'll be Packers ball out of bounds on the near side here. Enters it to Geeson. Geeson looking for a couple of screens here. Payne able to get through him. Open shot there for Deemert. It is a 3. Not good, with the rebound coming down to Huber. Almost throws it out of bounds. In fact, she will. And it looks like they are going to call no tip, so it will turn over to the Packers.
And that's tough for the Deacons, as they had a defensive stop there and had a chance to kind of come back a little bit more, but it was all taken away by that throw out of bounds.
Tough defense here for the Deacons. Packers able to swing it down in the corner for Deemert. Deemert looking for someone to pass to. Able to get past a couple Deacons, put the shot up, but does not fall. And the rebound down to the Deacons. Payne swings it over to Hodel. Hodel looking for someone to pass to. Finds Huber with an open 3 attempt. It's up and no good. As a couple Packers try to go for the rebound. They do get it out to foul in transition with an open layup, and does convert, extending the lead back out to 8 for the Packers with about 4 minutes and 30 seconds remaining in the first half. Looks like the Deacons are struggling a little bit here early in this game with the 2-3 zone of the Packers. Do you think the Packers planned on playing that zone all along, or kind of switched into it when they saw their time was right?
I mean, I think from what I'm seeing, it kind of looks like they just slowly transitioned into it. And like you said, they've been doing an excellent job of responding to that and being able to put points up.
Drive here for the Packers. Basket is not going to fall with the rebound coming down to Riley Payne. Huber bringing the ball up the floor for the Deacons. Finds Hodel on the far side. Hodel getting trapped by a couple Packers, but is able to get the pass over to Huber. Had a manual open down low, but decides to take the shot instead and does not make it. Transition pass out again to the Packers. They have done a heck of a job this game getting the ball out and scoring on those transition plays.
Yeah, there have definitely been a lot of fast breaks where you'll see like 1 or 2 Packers wide open all by themselves right under the hoop. And that's huge, not just for scoring points, but also for energy as it picks up, the whole team and the crowd, and that'll eventually get the entire team going.
They're going to call a foul on the play. It will be the first on Hannah Hodel. That'll be the 6th foul on the Deacons. So the next foul on the Deacons will send the Packers to the bonus. Mattern back into the game as well as Uche for the Packers. At the line for the Packers is number 12, Van Winkle. That'll be Lauren Van Winkle. Second attempt from Van Winkle is up and good, converting from 1 of 2 from the line, extending the lead out to 7 for the Packers. Hodel getting pressure, but able to get it over to Manuel. Manuel looking for someone, finds Payne. Payne looking like she was going to take the attempt, but decides not to. And it looks like they are going to have a jump ball on the play, so the ball will stay with the Deacons. Very dangerous pass there from Riley Payne.
Yeah, she tried her best, and she almost got it right through there without any problems, but unfortunately for Lydia Mattern, she was covered by 3 Packers, and she couldn't really do much. She got hold of the ball, but she wasn't able to move it around after that.
This time Packers paying a little bit more attention, so it does make it tougher for the Deacons to get the ball, but they do with Huber running the offense up top. Kicks it over to Payne. Payne looking for somewhere to drive and kicks it right off of her own shoe. Some self-inflicted wounds here by the Deacons early to start this game.
Yeah, I feel like a broken record at this point, but it's just little things that they're doing on the offensive side that's really killing them. They're not getting any momentum, not getting any points, and it's really showing here in this game.
There's not much more to say. They need to clean it up a little bit. Both teams do if they want to be successful and win this game. Foul, looking for drives middle, excuse me. Becker with a floater, just able to get it over the front rim for 2 points. Extends the lead back out to 9 for the Packers. Huber picking up the ball early, gets it down to Mattern. Mattern finds Huber again. Huber with a little lane to line, gets a shot up and able to convert on the tough 2-point basket there over Uche. With about 2 minutes remaining here in the first half, the Packers looking to try to score again. As Van Winkle gives it over to Giesen. Giesen with the 3-point attempt, almost misses everything. Looks like we are going to have a foul on the play there. It will be on Manuel, who contested Giesen. And it will be on the shot attempt, so we'll have 3 free throws coming for Giesen. And that'll already be the 3rd foul on Olivia Manuel in this game. That will be the 7th foul on the Deacons. You a little surprised here that they don't have anyone at the scores table to check in for Manuel with those 3 fouls?
A little bit, yeah. I was kind of saying earlier, well, here comes someone.
Here comes Dabbert.
Like I was saying earlier, Olivia Manuel, she's been a pretty good part of both the offense and defense for the Deacons. And, yeah, clearly you don't want to lose her, especially only in the first half because of fouls, because especially in a close game like this, you're definitely going to want someone like that going forward.
She is prone to foul trouble, though, with being one of the best defensive players for the Deacons. Giesen misses the first attempt, and the second attempt is up and does convert on that, so going 1 for 2 at the charity stripe. 9-point lead here for the Packers as Huber brings the ball up for the Deacons. Screen set by Payne. Huber has a little bit of an opening, but gets immediately trapped there by the Packers. He's able to get rid of Payne, though. Over to Dabbert. Dabbert finds Mattern, but the pass gets deflected off of McKenna Becker for the Packers, so the ball will stay with the Shanley Deacons. Both coaches calling the plays on defense and offense for what they want on this inbound play as they're able to get it into Huber. Drives baseline, gets trapped there. Not able to get rid of it. Does finally find someone in Mattern, as that one will also be deflected off the Packers with just 4 seconds remaining on the shot clock.
Another thing I'm kind of seeing here, you touched on it a little bit earlier, but like the Deacons, all their mistakes on offense it's a lot of self-inflicted things. They're responding pretty well to defense or to the Packers defense, but I mean it's not really the Packers defense that's causing a lot of trouble for the Deacons offense. I think it's the Deacons themselves who's causing a lot of trouble for their offense.
As we have another turnover for the Deacons, travel by Lydia Mattern. I think you said that excellent. I think the Packers are definitely aiding the Deacons in forcing some turnovers, but a lot of self-inflicted wounds for the Deacons early. 3 there attempt is good for the Packers, extending to their largest lead of the game at 12 points with just under 2 minutes remaining in the first half. Almost another turnover, but Payne's able to get rid of it. Goes up for the shot attempt. They do call a foul, which will send her to the charity stripe for 2 shots. They're going to call that number 40. Deemer, that will be her second of the game. 6th foul on the Packers. So both teams now in the bonus for the remainder of the half. Now checking in for the Packers after the shot is Uche. Here she will check in for Deemer with those 2 fouls. Second attempt by Payne is up and good. Cuts it down to a 10-point deficit for the Deacons. Van Winkle up top, guarded closely by Hodel. Looks for Giesen in the corner, finds her back up to Van Winkle. But Becker with the 3-point attempt almost makes it, but is no good with the rebound coming down to Payne. Payne picking the ball up early again for the Deacons. Find Mattern. Mattern to Dabbert in the corner for the 3-point attempt. Rattles in and out. Mattern with the rebound. Excuse me, Andy, what were you about to say?
I was just about to say the Deacons, they haven't had that much success with the 3-ball tonight. I think Riley Payne made 1, maybe 2, but for the most part, they haven't been able to bury that from outside the arc.
And typically they're a pretty good team at shooting that 3-point shot, so it looks like they are going to have to find something else that works here early, as that shot is not working for them. Mattern to the line to shoot 2 as the foul is on number 33, Uche. First of 2 is up and good for the Deacons. Mattern's second attempt is now up and also good, converting on both shots there. Pretty big with just under a minute. You got to cut that lead going into halftime for the Deacons. Becker stolen there by Hodel. Nice play there by Hodel on the defensive side. Becker turns her back. Hodel able to get beside her and goes up with the 2-point basket and does convert, cutting the lead to the Packers for 6 points, as the West Fargo head coach Mike Benson is not happy with his team after that turnover. Just a few seconds separate the game clock and shot clock. Becker with a nice pump fake, able to get up the jump shot just a little bit long. Nice box out, but the Packers are able to come down with the rebound after a nice pass to Becker. She's able to extend the lead for the Packers back out to 8 points with about 10 seconds remaining in the first half.
Excellent response by the Packers there, as the Deacons seem like they're gaining a little bit of momentum on the offensive side.
3, 2, 1, and Payne gets a shot up. Not able to convert, and that will be the end of the first half here from McCormick Gymnasium. Andy, back and forth game, but not for the right reasons. Couple turnovers for both teams here in the first half. What are your takeaways?
Where do I start? First off, for both teams, I'd say they really need to work on offensive rebounds. And, I mean, that's just a big part to give your offense a second chance. I mean, I saw only 1, maybe 2 offensive rebounds, and for the Packers, for the most part, they're pretty fundamentally sound. A couple mistakes here and there. But for the Deacons, they just got to get that offense cleaned up. There's a lot of little mistakes, a lot of missed shots, a lot of shooting themselves in the foot moments, and that's definitely going to have to get cleaned up going into this game.
Yeah, both teams have definitely some things they need to clean up for the second half. But if you're Mike Benson for the Packers, you definitely got to be happy on how your team answered to this first game.
Definitely. Because, like, as I was kind of saying, the Deacons, they had somewhat of momentum going into the end of the first half with our offensive side, but then the Packers were able to respond right away and kind of shut down that momentum.
Alrighty, folks, don't go far, as we do have second half action coming out in about 9 minutes here on Shanley TV. Before we get back into the action here in the second half, I would like to say a few words for Shanley TV is made possible in part by the Shanley Athletic Club and their generous members. Check out their website today at shanleyathleticcclub.com to learn how your membership contributes to Shanley TV, the Deacon Den, and many other student-athlete needs. While you're there, be sure to renew your annual membership by clicking the Join Now button or become a member if you are not one already. It's easy to become a member, so sign up today, taking Deacon Athletics to a higher level. Now, Andy, as we get back into the action here, what does each team need to do to be able to win this game?
Well, kind of like I was saying earlier, overall, I think the Packers, they're pretty all right so far. There's not a whole lot they need to change. I mean, maybe hit a couple more shots and follow up on some of their shots and get a couple more offensive rebounds. But overall, I think they're doing pretty fine so far. But for the Deacons, they just need to fix their offense. They just need to get more energy, hit more shots, and just stop making these little mistakes that are really killing them in this game.
And it looks like it would be very important here for the Deacons to force a turnover, as the Packers will start with the ball in the second half. And we are underway with second half of girls basketball on Shanley TV. Becker up top, gets a screen there. Deemer down in the corner, right inside to 34 there for the Packers, able to get it up to go. Extends lead to 10 for the Packers. Almost another turnover there right away in the second half, but Huber able to control it, who then kicks it immediately over to Manuel. Manuel to Mattern in the corner. Mattern looking for someone to drive, and a very crucial turnover as the Packers are now out in transition and is not able to go there for foul. A little bit of a break there for the Deacons.
Yeah, definitely. That could have given the Packers a lot of momentum early in this second half, and a lot of momentum for this Packers team right now is definitely not what you want to give them.
Nice pump fake by Mattern. They're not able to get the shot go as it's just a little wide. Bringing up ball up the floor for the Packers will be foul. Kicks it right over to Geeson in the corner. Drives baseline. Gives over to Walsvik. Kicks it out. Becker with a long two-point basket. Just long with the rebound coming down to Payne. Huber now controlling the offense for the Deacons. Kicks over to Mattern. Mattern looking down low. No one there. Over to Payne. Payne trying to find somewhere to drive. Does find someone. Puts up a two-point floater, which falls, cutting the deficit to 8 for the Deacons. Crucial basket there for the Deacons just to kind of get their energy going again in the second half, wasn't it?
Definitely. I mean, the Deacons, they came out a little flat so far, but, I mean, it's just plays like that, nice, simple plays that really get the energy and the momentum going. A
nice Deacon stop there and a manual rebound. See if they can make something happen out of that play with Hakeem with a quick two-point basket, and she is able to go. Huge play there by Hakeem to cut the lead down to 6 for the Packers.
Yeah, Hakeem could play a huge role in this second half and kind of cutting the deficit down a little bit, as she just has a dominant presence down in the paint. She's able to make great layups like that.
In the corner to Geeson. Geeson with the three-point attempt, and it does fall. Rattles around and gets 3 points on the board for the Packers. See if the Deacons have an answer here as they give it down to Hakeem. Looks like we might have an injured Packer here on the floor. Looks like they are going to blow the whistle as Deemer is slow to get up. Gingerly walking. A little bit of a run there to the Packers bench. We'll have to see if she's able to go, and you certainly hope that she is able to come back, as you never want to see anyone get injured.
Definitely. It's always kind of relieving to see them get up on their own and be able to get to the bench on their own, even with a little bit of swiftness as we saw there.
Will be the Packers ball in front of the Deacons bench as Williams checks in there for the injured Deemert. Geeson bounce pass to Becker in the corner, guarded very closely by Huber, and almost comes away with the steal there. But Becker is able to give it over to Williams. Quick pass back to Becker. Throws it right off the face of her teammate Geeson. Back over to Becker. Very good defense here by the Deacons, as they are going to call a jump ball here. Very, very nice play there for both teams trying to get that ball back.
And that was an excellent job there by the Deacons to continue to apply pressure even after the ball is moved. And, I mean, that's what the Deacons are really good at on defense, is they're able to cause a lot of pressure and force turnovers and kind of force the offense to move to whatever they want.
Payne trapped there, just gets over to Huber, and they are going to call that over and back call. Mental error there by Payne.
Yeah, that's hard to see when the Deacons are starting to pick up a little bit of momentum after that jump ball, and yeah, it's tough, especially for the struggling defense or the struggling offense so far.
Becker over 2. Walsvik gets stolen by Payne. Very nice makeup there by Payne to get the ball back for her team. Huber pushing the pace a little bit. Gets stuck there, finds Payne, takes in 3-point attempt, just short. Rebound to Mattern though. Looks like Coach Jacobson wanted a foul called, but instead it will be off of the Deacons and the ball will be turned back over to the Packers. Foul now taking the ball up the floor for the Packers. Huber playing defense on foul. Almost gets a steal, but a nice crossover by foul. Is able to get rid of it. Deflected pass there by Huber. Not sure why Williams went for it, as it would have been Packers' ball if it went out of bounds, but a nice finish there by Huber on the opposite end.
Huber's been doing a great job in these last few minutes of causing turnovers and putting a lot of pressure on the Packers offense and forcing them to make a move, and it's causing turnovers and points for the Deacons.
A little bit of energy here as there is another turnover there forced by the Deacons. Deacon parents now getting into it, urging their team to cut more into this deficit. Mattern driving baseline, gives a nice pass there to Hakeem, but that will be the 3rd time she's unable to control the ball in this game. Open 3-point attempt for Manuel. Off the front iron, not able to go. As a very nice play there by Huber to save the ball, but Payne not able to finish. As Hakeem gets the board and puts it back up for 2 points.
Excellent play there by Hakeem to not give up on the play and still continue to go after the ball even though it was in the Packers' possession.
The atmosphere kind of coming to life here as we expected in the first half. Nice defense by Hakeem. Becker for the 3-point attempt, just long with the rebound coming down to Payne.
The Deacons have been pretty lucky that Becker hasn't been able to hit as many of those shots because she's had a lot of wide open shots from almost 3-point range as we saw there.
Mattern with the open 3-point attempt. They are going to get her on travel as she decided to try to dribble in midair, which she cannot do. Couple of players now in for each team, and we do see Deemer come back into the game. That's a good sign for Packer fans. It'll be Packers ball here as Manuel tries to apply a little bit of pressure on that inbounds pass, but no worries, and the Packers are able to bring the ball up the floor. Very nice defense there by Manuel. Nice defensive play, and they are going to call that off of the Packers as the crowd urges Olivia Manuel on with a little bit of cheers after that nice defensive play.
I mean, the Deacons, they continue to force turnovers and put a lot of pressure on the Packers offense, and it's really working out for them as their offense is starting to pick up as well.
Payne pump fake there, finds Dabbert down low. Payne with an open 3-point attempt is up no good with the rebound coming down to Hakeem. Turns around, puts it right back up, and it comes right back to her. Looks like she's just patting the stats, doesn't it?
I mean, she's definitely doing a great job of getting a lot of offensive boards, and that's one thing I was touching on earlier that both teams really needed to start picking up on.
2-point basket there by Riley Payne, as seen on the replay here. They're going to get a foul on the play as well, which sends her to the line to try to convert the old-fashioned 3-point play. The foul will be called on number 11, Chloe Foul. That'll be her first of the game as Riley Payne hits the free throw attempt and immediately gets subbed out by Huber with a 2-point deficit now for the Deacons. Kind of can feel a momentum shift here from the Packers over to Deacons, can't you?
Definitely. The Deacons, they've definitely changed what they really needed to change that they were making mistakes from in the first half, and it's shown by the score here as they're only down by 2 after being down by 10 going into halftime.
Huber guarding closely alongside Manuel of Gießen over there. They are able to force a turnover, but no. They are going to call a foul on that play as that probably could have went either way there. That'll be the 4th on Olivia Manuel. Huge with still over 12 minutes remaining in the game.
Yeah, definitely. She's been one of the driving forces on this Deacons defense. As she's been one of the players who's caused a lot of pressure and caused a lot of turnovers, leading to offensive points.
Almost another turnover for the Packers. It seems like roles have switched here, as now the Packers are turning the ball over more than the Deacons. Huber able to come down with the board as she slowly brings it across the half-court line. Huber over to Dabbert. Dabbert looking for someone to find. Finds Hodel in the corner. Gives it up to Payne. Payne right into Hakeem. Hakeem goes to work. Looks like she got away with the travel, and they are going to call a foul on the play, which will send Hakeem back to the free throw line. They're going to call a block on the play. That'll be on number 34, Walsvik. That'll be her 3rd of the game, 2nd on the Packers this half.
and another advantage that the Deacons have of having Hakeem down low often and being so dominant. It's very hard to guard her, especially when she's going up for shots. So it's very easy as a defender to try to stop her in any way possible and causing a foul, giving her 2 free throws.
Second attempt from Hakeem is up, no good, with the Packers able to come down with the rebound. Payne cuts off foul on the near side, able to force turnover, but again, they do call a foul on the play. With that being the second foul on the Deacons. So 2 fouls on each team here now in the second half. And that will be the first foul called on Riley Payne. Looks like we are going to have a timeout on the floor. Timeout Packers. It will be a 30-second timeout. If you're Mike Benson and the head coach of the Packers, what are you telling your players after a couple uneasy possessions?
I mean, if I was the coach, I'd probably just be telling them to get out of your own heads and just play like you were playing in the first half, because in the first half they're doing a great job on both sides of the ball, but it seems like with all this Deacon momentum, they're kind of getting in their own heads and starting to think a little too much, and it's causing them to cause turnovers and just not play as great as they were in the first half. We'll
see if the Packers are able to switch things around here and get some points going in their direction out of this time here. Timeout here, excuse me. Sorry about that. We have about 12 minutes remaining in the game here from McCormick Gymnasium, with the Packers leading by 2. Deemert plans to inball the ball in for the Packers. Van Winkle up top. That'll be Lauren Van Winkle, the older of the sisters, who double dribbles there. I missed that one. Did you see that double dribble there?
I didn't quite catch that one either, but no matter what the play or the call was, it's definitely becoming even more evident that the roles have really reversed here, as the Deacons are gaining a lot of steam and the Packers are the ones who are making some mistakes here and there on offense.
Deacons able to tie or take the lead here with a 2-point or 3-point basket. Looks like they are going to call a 3-second violation. I believe that will be on Payne. So it will be a turnover there for the Deacons. Into the game for the Packers will be McKenna Becker. Not often we'll say that Becker returning to the game, as she's usually on the floor for most of the game.
Yeah, she's been a big part of this Packers, both offense and defense, but yeah, it's not often you don't see her on the court.
Becker trying to find someone, not able to, but finally finds Deemert with the shot fake there. Becker with 2 shot fakes there, tries to drive, kicks it out to Deemert for the open 3. Just long, and rebound comes down to Huber and the Deacons. Huber gives it over to Payne, but Payne's not looking. She's able to finally find her as close defense is played by Geeson. Into Hakeem right away. Looking for someone, finds, looks like Huber. Not sure who that was supposed to go to, as it was deflected a few times. Nice drive there by Huber. And they will get a reach-in call on the Packers. They're going to call that reach on number 11, Chloe Fowl. That'll be her second of the game, 3rd team foul. Payne telling her team to get going here as I have the ball ready to go. Finds Huber up top as a last resort. Hakeem over to Hodel. Hodel bounce pass there to Huber, down to Payne in the corner. Payne's going to take that open 3, misses everything as the Packers come down with the rebound.
Yeah, even with all this momentum, the Deacons they haven't been able to be very efficient with that 3 ball.
23 Becker there with a 3-point attempt. Not good, but the Packers are able to control the rebound. Deemert in the corner gives it to Becker, but the Deacons are able to get a hand on it. It looks like the Deacons are going to come away with the loose ball there as Huber brings the ball up the floor. Closely guarded there by Becker. Entrance pass to Hakeem down low, goes to work, able to get the 2-point basket, and we have a tied game here, Andy, with just over 10 minutes remaining in the second half. Becker up to Deemert. Packers need a basket here as they've been dry in the past couple minutes. Turnover there, not a turnover, as Geeson's able to come away with it. Into the corner for Becker, shot fake there. Has Geeson open in the corner, not able to get it to her, as the Deacons do come away with the basketball here and is able to take the lead with any basket. Holo Dabber with the 3-point attempt, up and good as the crowd goes wild for the Shanley Deacons. First lead of the second half in quite a long time for the Deacons.
I believe that was the second, maybe 3rd 3-pointer in the game for the Deacons, but that was a huge play as it gives the Deacons their first lead in a long time.
Very important timing there as the Packers try to get some points on the board as Becker drives baseline, gets a foul on the play, and gets the 2-point basket to go. She'll be sent to the free throw line to try to convert that 3-point play. They are going to call that on number 31, Mo Hakeem. That'll be her second of the game. Walsvik back into the game for the Packers. Becker attempting to tie the game at the line. Shot is up and good, which ties the game back at 42 with 9:30 remaining in the game. Packers trapping Huber behind the half-court line, barely able to get it to Hakeem as they do call a foul there on McKenna Becker for a push. Payne inbounding the ball for the Deacons on the near side here, as that will be the 4th team foul on the Packers. We'll have to watch to see if they get into the bonus, and the Deacons will be heading to the line. Very good defense on Becker. She does force the turnover for Hadley, as Huber does step on the out-of-bounds line there. Looks like the Deacons are going to switch their defense once again and go to that 3-2 zone. Packers driving, kicks out of the corner for Deemer. Deemer with the open three-point attempt, and is good. Gives the lead back to the Packers. 45-42 Packers.
Yeah, Deemer, she was going in a little bit of a slump with that three-point ball, but that was an excellent three in the corner for her, and hopefully that'll keep the momentum going for her outside the arc.
Very nice play by Huber to get the ball back with an open three-point attempt by Payne to tie the game up again, and we are tied again at 45. Now this is an exciting game with both teams trading buckets. We are going to get a travel on the play, so that ball will go back over to the Deacons, and it does appear that Coach Jacobson of the Deacons wants a timeout. And you believe that is just for a rest, as they are short a couple players tonight, don't you?
I mean, definitely there's not a whole lot that he would be concerned with right now, as all the momentum appears to be in the Deacons' favor, as Hakeem has 15 points and Payne has 13, and they're two of the driving forces for this little comeback here, driven by the Deacons' offense.
You know, we haven't said Hakeem's name much on that offensive side, but her points are surely adding up, as she is the leading scorer for the Deacons this evening.
And
Go ahead, Andy.
It's easy for her with, I mean, as we touched on many times, her just dominant play style down low in the paint, and obviously her size definitely helps. She's just able to go up and put up an easy two-pointer like it's nothing.
And I'm guessing if we talked to Hakeem after the game, she would give all the credit to her point guard, Hadley Huber, and Riley Payne finding her down low. As we do have some stats here for the Packers as well, as Geeson is leading them with 14 points and Becker has 12. You know, a little surprising we don't see foul on there, but she's contributed in different ways on the defensive end and forcing turnovers.
Yeah, definitely. The game, you definitely got to give a little more credit to players on defense, just as a little more than offense, because, I mean, offense on its own can't necessarily win a game, but defense on its own, that can really help win a game. As
both teams come out of the timeout here, just under 9 minutes remaining in this game. And just a reminder that the boys matchup of the Packers and Deacons will be about 20 minutes after the conclusion of this game. Riley Payne inbounding the ball for the Deacons in front of the scorer's table. Looks like the Packers are going to sit back in their 2-3 zone, making it pretty easy for the Deacons to set up their offense. Hakeem, dominant present up top, gives it to Hodel. Hodel with the three-point attempt, just long as Payne falls, trying to get the rebound. Packers now pushing the pace a little bit, see if the Deacons can stop the... Looks like we are going to have a foul on the floor, so that shot will not count. And they're going to call that on Mo Hakeem, third personal. We will have to start watching for her fouls, as Emily Strema is not playing tonight with that foot injury.
Yeah, that would be a huge loss for the Deacons if they lost Hakeem to foul trouble tonight.
Nice defensive play there as Hakeem gets it over to Payne. Not a great pass from Hakeem there, but you don't really expect that from a big, as she's more used down low to shoot the ball. Inbound from Becker to foul, bringing the ball up the floor for the Packers. Looks like they are face guarding Geeson down the corner with Huber. Nice pass there into Walsvik. Looks like they are going to get a travel on the play and not a trip on the Deacons. So that will be an unforced turnover there by the Packers, and it will be ball over to the Deacons. Packers now applying that 2-3 zone full court. We'll see how the Deacons handle that. Nice pass there from Huber to Hodel. Dabbert for a three-point attempt. That's her second one of the game. Huge shot there, giving the lead back to the Deacons by 3 points. Looking for a screen there is foul. Gives over to Becker. Becker with a three of her own. Not able to convert, but Walsvik with the rebound puts it back up for 2 points and a quick timeout here by Mike Benson of the Packers. What a play there by Walsvik. Give a little momentum back to the Packers before that timeout.
I mean, that energy, as I've touched on many times before, that's a huge component in this game. And the Deacons, they're having a lot of energy, especially after that Dabbert three-pointer. And a play like that where you go for the offensive rebound and are just able to dominate down in the paint, that's huge for energy, and that'll definitely maybe turn things around a little bit for the Packers' momentum.
Looks like Coach Payne, the assistant coach for the Deacons, is trying to speak with the ref. I'm guessing he is not happy about some call. Not sure what that is exactly, but we'll see if that helps the Deacons in any way coming out of this timeout. Don't forget that you can connect with Shanley TV on social media. Get the latest updates about Shanley sports, teams, plus reminders about upcoming broadcasts. Like our Facebook page today at facebook.com/ShanleyTV or follow us on Twitter at ShanleyTV. Payne now inbounding the ball for the Deacons as the Packers will go back into their 2-3 zone underneath the Deacons hoop. As we wait for the ball to be inbounded here. It looks like we are going to have the same players that left that timeout. They are going to be on the floor coming out of the timeout as Huber brings the ball up the floor. Payne to Huber. Swing the ball around over to Dabbert in front of her bench. Down to Hakeem. Over to Huber. Back to Payne. Nice passing there by the Deacons. Three-point attempt. No good from Payne. Packers pushing the pace. Got an open foul down low. Looks like they are going to get a double dribble. That would be the second one of the game. Not common. You see that at this level.
I mean, definitely not. And I think that just goes along with what we were saying earlier about how the roles have kind of reversed here. And the Packers, they just continue to make little mistakes that are really hurting them on the scoreboard.
Huber to Hakeem. Our Deacons are able to extend the lead here if they are able to get a basket, but they are going to have a ball tipped by the Packers, so it will stay with the Deacons. Deacons calling their out-of-bounds play, trying to score with another quick basket to Huber. There, she is able to connect. That's the second time that the Packers have kind of been sleeping on defense, and the Deacons able to get an easy one.
Yeah, that's big, especially in a close game like this. That extra little 2 points without any problems at all, that's huge.
Becker with a 2-point shot, not able to connect with Hakeem coming down with the rebound. Deacons slowing the pace here a little bit, looking for a good shot as Huber is looking for Hakeem. Does not find her, so she decides to use that dribble and give it over to Payne. Payne swing pass over to Dabbert. Dabbert down low at Hakeem. Hakeem going to work. They're going to get a foul on the play there, so that will send Hakeem back to the line for 2 shots. They're going to call that number 34, Walsvik. That'll be her 4th of the game, so that'll be another player to watch there in foul trouble for the Packers. First attempt for Hakeem. Up and good. Perfect. She's been excellent from the line here tonight.
I was kind of waiting to say that just to cause no announcer jinx, but yeah, she's definitely been very consistent on the free-point line so far.
Lauren Van Winkle in for Walsvik. Second attempt is up. Not able to connect as that jinx might have been.
Yeah, I shouldn't have said that. I should have waited a little extra.
Deemert gives it off to foul. Stolen on the play by the Deacons. They're not able to come away with it, though, as we will get a jump ball on the play there, and it will stay with the Packers as the possession arrow is pointing towards their bench. Looked like the Deacons were going to be able to come away with that, but Dabbert just trying to maybe get that to herself and poked it right back to the Packers. Lauren Van Winkle kicks it back over to Foul. Foul back to Becker. Becker looking for someone to pass to. Can't find anyone as Payne extends the defense. Able to get a turnover. Outlet pass there to Hodel. Looks like she's going to have an open layup. Nice defense there by Geeson, but Hodel able to connect over Geeson and extends the lead to 6 points for the Deacons. Most likely their largest lead of the game.
Yeah, I almost wonder if these teams just switch jerseys at the halftime because the Deacons are really starting to look like the Packers in the first half, and the Packers, like we were saying, they're really starting to look like the Deacons.
Whatever Coach Jacobson said at halftime did in fact work for the Deacons, and they're a totally different team this half. As we do get a foul called there on Riley Payne. That'll be her second of the game, with each team now having 5 fouls this half. Becker, handoff to Foul there, looking to drive baseline, has an open Deemer, gives it to her in the corner. 3 is up, rattles in and out. Tough break there for the Packers. Huber over to Hodel in front of the bench. Hodel right back to Huber. Huber setting up the offense. Give it to Hakeem. Open Payne for the three-point attempt. Up and good. Extends the lead again for the Deacons. Out to 9 points with 5 minutes remaining in the second half. Geeson now has the ball for the Packers. Kicks in the corner for Diemert. Decides not to take that three-point attempt and gives it back out to Becker. Becker over to Foul. Foul, nice pass inside, but it's stolen by Payne there. Gives it off to Huber to set up the offense here for the Deacons. Back over to Payne. Payne drives baseline, looking for someone to pass to. Gets it right off of her side there, and it will be a turnover.
That's another thing I've kind of seen is that the Packers, they do a great job of applying a lot of pressure when the Deacons are down low under the hoop, because that's the second time we've seen it where they've played with, where they put just enough pressure where they don't cause a foul, but they do force the Deacon offender out of bounds.
Lauren Van Winkle with the ball now, looking from a screen from Foul. Gives it over to Diemert up top. Diemert swing pass stolen by Hakeem. Very nice defensive play by Hakeem. Deacons setting up the offense now as they bring the ball across the half-court line. Huber looking to drive right, gets shut down there. Mattern in front of her own bench here. Gives it back up to Huber. Huber finds Payne. Payne decides not to take it back up to Huber. Huber to Manuel. Hakeem, 2-point attempt, falls down. Very nice basket there.
It's almost too easy for the Deacons offense to just throw a little pass down to Hakeem in the paint, and then she's able to turn around and put it up for 2 points.
Extends the lead to 11 for the Deacons, resulting in a timeout from the Packers. It will be a full timeout. One thing that I noticed on that last play is Manuel is back in the game for the Deacons. That shows how much trust Coach Jacobson has in her. How big is that if she can play the remainder of this game and not foul out?
I mean, that's huge. As we were kind of saying earlier, she's been a driving force on this defense where she's been able to force a lot of pressure and cause a lot of turnovers. And on the offensive side, she's not scoring as many points, but she's passing the ball around and giving opportunities to other players to score, as we just saw there with Mo Hakeem.
If you're Steve Jacobson and the Deacons head coach, you got to be pretty happy with how your team has responded this second half. What do you think he's telling his team, just to keep it going, keep that momentum in their direction?
Yeah, I guess that's all you can really say, because like you said, they've done an excellent job of responding to some of the pressure, or I guess how the Packers were playing, and they've just flipped the script entirely, and they look like a completely different team in this half than when they did the first half.
And that's very impressive, too, with one of their leading big man down low being out with Emily Shrema, and also Kate Busick, one of their star point guards from last year. They had one of the best duos at point guards in the state last year in Huber and Busick.
Yeah, overall, the Deacons, they've just done a great job of kind of responding to adversity and responding to tough situations with great play style, and as you see here with their 11-point lead.
As both teams break the timeout huddle here, it will be the Packers basketball in their own half court with just under 4 minutes remaining in the second half. Geeson now throwing the ball in for the Packers. Finds Diemert up top. Diemert driving on Hakeem. Mattern shuts her down there. Williams, nice jump shot there, and is able to convert, getting the Packers back on the scoreboard, cutting the lead down to 9 for the Deacons. Packers now applying some pressure. Deacons able to break it very quickly there by Payne. Mattern finds Hakeem down low. Wide open basket there for Hakeem, and able to extend lead right back to 11.
Yeah, bold strategy there, leaving Hakeem wide open down in the paint.
Packers able to cut the defense there. Back over to Diemert down low. Drives baseline. They are going to call a block there on Hakeem, which is going to be her 4th foul. It is something to worry about, but not a lot of time left. Only 3 minutes, so I believe that Coach Jacobson will keep her in the game.
Yeah, she's definitely a player you do not want to lose, especially this late in the game.
Packers inbounding the ball. Finds Foul. Long 2-point jump shot up and perfect. Trap here by the Packers. Manuel able to beat her defender there. Gives over to Mattern. Mattern back up to Payne. Looks like we are going to have a turnover as no Packers deflected it. Coach Jacobson just telling his team, settle down a little bit. We don't need this much energy in transition right now.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to start making little mistakes like that now, being up only 9 points with a little under 3 minutes left.
Foul now, able to drive right inside, put the 2-point shot up, not able to connect. but rebound does come down to Williams. Shot blocked there by Payne. Deacons up by 9 as they will be able to bring the ball up the floor here. Huber driving, open drive. Looks like they're not going to get a foul on the play there, so another turnover for the Deacons there and an impressive stop for the Packers. But the Packers will have another turnover for their own. That's kind of been the story of the game here, is when one team turns it over and the other team could use it, they turn it right back over.
Yeah, it's definitely been a game of great defense, but at the same time, little mistakes on offense.
Nice football pass there from Payne to Huber, able to beat her defenders, drive baseline, get the basket, and the foul on top of that. What a play there by Huber.
I mean, the momentum, it seems like it keeps shifting in the Deacons' momentum as much as it can. Just when you think there couldn't be more energy, the Deacons pick up even more.
Huber at this charity stripe to try to connect for the three-point play. Attempt from the charity stripe is up, not able to connect. Still gets a 2-point basket before that. 11-point lead here for the Deacons with about 2 minutes remaining in the game. Becker able to get rid of it as Deemer puts up the 3-point attempt. Does not connect as it hits the front iron. Becker with the open 2-point basket, able to connect as she cuts the deficit to 9 for the Packers. You know, you'd expect a little bit more pressure from the Packers with only 2 minutes remaining into this game. It looks like we will have a timeout on the floor. Full timeout by Deacons. And it looks like Hakeem was getting ready to sub back in. If you're the Packers here, what is your plan of action to take with about 2 minutes remaining in the ballgame?
Well, I mean, kind of like you said on defense, you'd expect them to apply a little more pressure and maybe press a little bit more on the Deacons, but at the same time, the Deacons have done an excellent job of responding to whatever defense the Packers throw at them. And I mean, on the offensive side, it's really nothing we haven't said before. They just need to start hitting shots, stop making those little shoot yourself in the foot mistakes, and if they can do that, I wouldn't be surprised they could come back with 2 minutes left.
And for the Deacons, they already had a game, so they were able to see a little bit of who really wanted to play in these crunch time minutes. But for Mike Benson, this is a key time to see who really wants to play in these important situations and able to take control of the game, use their experience, and able to hopefully win that game for the Packers. As we were just a brief moment from both teams breaking the huddle here. Any final remarks before we have a wild 2 minutes?
I mean, I'm just patiently waiting for these last 2 minutes. I think it'll be an excellent play, an excellent little series of plays here, because I wouldn't be surprised if the Packers kind of flipped the switch and just came out with a little more energy with maybe that clutch gene coming out with just 2 minutes left.
Should be an exciting final 2 minutes as both teams are able to put up a lot of points in just very little time. Packers a little bit more awake on this inbound play as they're not able to find Huber for a quick 2, but they are able to find her in the corner and set up the offense up top. Over to Dabbert. Dabbert looking to find Payne, and she does find her. Over to Huber right away. Into the corner for Manuel. Nice pump fake. Gets Deemer flying in the air there. 7 seconds left on the shot clock. Deacons need a shot attempt, and they will get one from Huber. Floater there. Good look, just not able to convert. And the ball will go back over to the Packers. If you're the Packers, that's exactly what you needed. And it looks like the Deacons don't want Geeson to have the ball at all as Huber's face guarding her. So if the Packers want to win this game, someone else is going to have to step up big. Foul trying to give the ball. Geeson is able to give the ball to her. Tip pass there by Payne, and she is able to come up with it, but will slow it down to try to run some clock off. If you're Mike Benson here and the Packers, are you trying to foul early, or are you thinking about just playing out this possession?
I'd maybe play out this possession, then start fouling just to maybe not give the Deacons that little edge that they would have going in with just a minute left.
Huber down to Hakeem low. Manuel with the 3-point attempt. Looks like she is going to use the glass, and it is going. It looks like the bank is going to be open on this Tuesday evening. 12-point lead here for the Deacons as we are going to have an out-of-bounds call on the Packers. That'll be another turnover from McKenna Becker. And the Deacons will take the ball back as Williams will be checking into the game for the Packers.
And that was a big play down there for the Deacons to get that little out-of-bounds turnover after that three-pointer by Olivia Manuel. I mean, like I said, the energy just keeps picking up for the Deacons, and they don't seem to show any signs of stopping.
Payne now inbounding the ball to Huber, and they're going to call foul immediately on Williams there. Not sure if she was trying to foul, but let alone they will get the foul call there. As Huber will be sent to the line as the Deacons are now in the bonus. Both teams will be now in the bonus for the remainder of the game. Huber will have a 1-and-1 from the line. First one is no good, so will not be awarded. The second one, as Geeson pushes the pace for the Packers, who need to score very quickly here if they want to have a chance. Geeson with the pump fake, drives past the defender. Nice pass there to Valswick. Not able to convert. Rebound down to Payne. It looks like the Packers trying to get it, but instead of a jump ball, they will get a foul called, and it will send Riley Payne to the free throw line to ice the game. Eighth team foul on the Packers. Payne's first attempt, not good as well, so 2 misses there from Deacons, but Hakeem able to come down with the rebound, but not able to finish. Shot clock is turned off here as Diemert is in the corner. Quick pass there is stolen by Huber, but Fowl is able to knock it right back off her. 19.8 seconds left here from Fargo as the Packers are looking to have any sort of hope. Long three-point attempt, misses everything, and it looks like Becker is going to continue to foul with about 10 seconds left. Not sure why she fouled there, as this game is pretty much all but over.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you're just kind of grasping out to get anything with just 10 seconds left here, but yeah, I agree. That was kind of a surprising move there.
Bonus here for Payne, so will be awarded the second if she can connect on the first, and does. Second end of the 1-and-1. That's up and perfect, extending the lead out to 14 for the Deacons. McKenna Becker, in the corner, passes up to Walsvik. Over to Geeson. Need to get a shot up if they want it to count. Not able to get a shot up, so that will be the final score. 67-53 in favor of the Deacons. Andy, if you are the Deacons here, you got to be pretty excited with that win. Looking like it was going to be a rough game at halftime. What do you think the huge takeaway is for Coach Jacobson and the Deacons?
Well, I think if you're Coach Jacobson, you're just kind of thinking, you're kind of satisfied, not completely satisfied with the season, but you're satisfied with this game tonight, as you know that your team is able to overcome kind of some adversity and able to come back from deficits in different situations, and you just have a team that's able to play and able to do pretty much anything they have to.
And for the Packers and Mike Benson, you can't be too worried because it was the first game of the year. Everyone's going to have a little nerves and jitters. It looks like they were able to get rid of those pretty early, but do you think they'll be okay going forward?
I think they'll be okay going forward. I mean, it's kind of like we were saying with the Deacons. They just got themselves into a little bit of a rut where they're making mental mistakes. But, I mean, they were able to move the ball around well. They were able to get open shots, but it's just a matter of getting those buckets in and just not making little shoot-yourself-in-the-foot mistakes.
Now with the score of the girls' game being 67-53 in favor of the Deacons, are you looking forward to this boys' game? You think it's going to be a fast-paced, fun, full of action game?
I'm definitely looking forward to this boys' game. As we saw for the for the Shanley boys on Saturday, they were able to come out with all the momentum in the world. They had a high tempo, they were fast-paced, and I'm sure the Packers will be able to answer that. So I think we're going to have a great thriller of a game tonight.
And before we take a break to get to that boys' game, we do have a couple stats for you here, as Hakeem led the Deacons in scoring with 20, followed by Payne with 16. Pretty good day from the charity stripe, shooting 68%. For the Packers, Geeson with 14, as well as Becker with 14. They shoot 56%, so that little bit of margin goes the Deacons' way. You got to think that has a little bit of a factor in the outcome.
Definitely. I mean, like I was saying, they had all the energy in the world, and that definitely showed in the free throw percentage.
Alrighty, as the final score from Fargo in the girls' game is 67 for the Deacons and 53 for the Packers. We are going to take about a 20-minute break, but don't go anywhere, as boys basketball is next on Shanley TV.
This broadcast is presented by American Family Insurance, Ken Craft Agency, Bell Bank, Beyond Boundaries Therapy Services, Butler Machine.
Hello and welcome back to EDC Basketball on Shanley TV. Before we get into the Packers vs. Deacons boys game, we send it down to PA for the intros.
Good evening and welcome to McCormick Gymnasium on the campus of Shanley High School for tonight's Eastern Dakota Conference boys basketball matchup featuring the visitors on the scoreboard, the West Fargo Packers. And their home team, Shanley Deacons. At this time, I'd like to draw your attention to the scores table. Our Shanley basketball player Jackson Lyer will read the ABC Sportsmanship Creed.
North Dakota Activities Association and Eastern Dakota Conference encourage and promote good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We ask that you cheer for your team and be respectful of your opponent. As high school student athletes, we commit fair play, responsibility, and respect. We invite you to support our effort.
At this time, I'd like to introduce the cheerleaders for today's game. First, for the cheerleaders from West Fargo, their coach, Emily Chadwick, and your cheerleaders are Caitlin Anderson, Xander Dutton, Lexi Hargrove, Ashley Wynn, Harry Thorson, and Anna Voronkova. Your Deacon cheerleaders, their coach, Carrie Brazier, your cheerleaders are Autumn Cunningham, Hannah Lasky, now, for the state lineups for tonight's game. Lineups will be done in alternating fashion. First, for the visitors on the scoreboard, the West Fargo Packers. Starting to go, 6'1" senior number 2, Matt Miller.
Welcome back again. I'm Braden Altringer, joined with Andy Simon, my partner. Andy, we have a heck of a game on our hands here tonight with the Packers, who again, this is their first game of the year, and Deacons, this is their second game with winning their first game against St. Mary's. Andy, who are your key players to tune in for both teams?
Well, for the Packers, I see number 40, Hunter Lyman, the commit to Crookston. He's just a great player. He's very dominant. Obviously, his 6'8" stature, very easy for him to dominate down in the paint and pretty much anywhere in the court. He's great on both sides of the ball. And for the Deacons, I'd say Talon Hoffer, he's been a great leader, not just this year, but last year as well. He's able to lead the charge of the offense and the defense. But also Braden DeKaiser. If he can break out, he can really get on a roll and really start a rally for the Deacons.
Yeah, we're definitely going to have to watch on that matchup between Lyman and Schramer down low as we have a quick basket opportunity for the Packers. It was blocked out of bounds, but they are going to get a foul on the play.
It's nice to see a aggressive start for Roman Schramer as he jumped right in to block that ball.
Looks like they are going to get that foul call on number 2, Quincy Smith. That'll be the first one of the game, as Hagerly's first attempt is no good. Second attempt for Hagerly is up and does fall through. Looks like the Packers on defense are just going to play a simple man-to-man defense. Smith in front of the Packers bench. Trying to get past Hagerly. He's just a little bit too aggressive there, and they're going to get him called for a reach, which will be the first for the Packers.
It appears that the Deacons are kind of coming out with the same tempo that they had last Saturday against St. Mary's, where, I mean, they're just flying around all over the court trying to get as many open lanes as possible and just moving the ball around.
Yeah, I was able to talk to Coach Burns and a few of the players before the game, and it looks like they want to keep that tempo going, as that might be one of their strong shoots later in the year. DeKaiser trying to work on Bierencott down low. Nice pass there to Schramm as he's able to finish off the glass for 2 points, giving the Deacons their first lead of the game. Deacons applying some pressure here. Matt Miller having a little bit of trouble to get across half court, but he is able to do so. Bierencott out to number 11, Brett Limke for the three. Not able to go. Rebound coming down to Schramm, and it looks like they are going to get an early foul call on Hunter Lyman. If you're the Packers, you do not want to see that.
Definitely not. And another thing that you were kind of touching on before the game, or right as it started, I guess, is the matchup between Roman Schramm and Lyman. I mean, so far they've done a great job of competing with each other and putting a lot of pressure on each other to make plays.
Not only for Schramm, but once Patrick Bath enters the game for the Deacons, that'll be fun to watch too.
Definitely Patrick Bath. He had a breakout game on Saturday. He was playing like he was a 3-year veteran. He was doing incredibly well for as young as he is.
That'll help him against Lyman, who has a lot of experience and is very broad-shouldered and is strong down low. Deep three here for Hoffer's able to go. And if you're the Deacons, you love to see that, because when Hoffer gets going early, he doesn't stop. Looks like they are going to get a foul called here on Quincy Smith. That'll be his second of the game. So that'll send him to the bench early as Jackson Lyer takes off his warm-up and gets sent to the scorer's table.
Yeah, last Saturday, Quincy Smith, he was very dangerous with that three-point ball, and the three-pointer is obviously a very good attribute to have for your offense. It would be very horrible for their offense to lose Quincy.
We'll see if the veteran point guard can get a scoring basket here for the Packers. Lyer defending very closely to Miller. Hoffer on Limke. Down to Lyman. We'll see if he's able to go to work, able to kick it over to Hagerly. Hagerly takes that three-point attempt. It's going to be just short, and the rebound will come down to DeKaiser in front of his coach. Almost a turnover there for the Deacons, but we have a nice pass there by Mears to Schramm for another two-point basket for the Deacons.
It appears the Deacons, they have all the energy in the world early in this game, as that was a very quick play between DeKaiser, Mears, and Schramm, and that was a great little play by them as well to put up the 2 points.
And you got to be worried a little bit if you're the Packers head coach. They are coming out a little flat. It is the first game of the year, but you definitely want a lot of energy in those first 5 minutes. Schramm with the rebound there after DeKaiser's missed. Nice move on Lyman, get him in the air, and finish with the floater above him. 9 points here early for the Deacons. Packers able to beat the press. Nice move there by Bierencott on Lyer. Able to connect on the 2-point floater to cut the deficit to 6 for the Packers. Steal there by Hagerly. Lyer trying to help play a little bit defense, but able to finish over the shorter Lyer. Quick 4 points there for the Packers. Exactly what you want there if you're a Packers fan.
Definitely that little play by Bierencott, that kind of started the little rally that they kind of got going here after that nice breakout play and for the easy layup.
Looks like we did have a whistle there after Deacons inbound. It looks like the shot clock was not running, and so they wanted to get that reset and give the full 30 seconds to the Deacons. Looks like the Rex are going to have a little bit of talk here, but they're happy with the time, so they're going to let play resume. Hoffer setting up the offense, telling people where to go. We'll see what he's called on this possession. Mears up top to DeKaiser. DeKaiser guarded by Bierencott, and those long arms. Going to be tough scoring on him. Lyer with a fake shot on the three-point attempt. DeKaiser looking to drive. Quick flourish. Blocked right back into his face by Bierencott. Able to get the ball back, though. 3 seconds left. Just a short floater there by Mears. Not able to connect as the Packers are trying to push in transition. Bierencott driving on the Deacons defense here, as we are going to have a jump ball called, which will result in the ball going over to the Deacons.
While the Deacons do have a great little tempo going here, they've been able to make quick little plays. At times it feels like they're a little rushed and they're kind of in a frenzy to make a play really fast, and that's kind of causing a couple issues on the offensive side.
As the tempo has been very fast, we'll see if that continues like the game did Saturday with the Deacons and the St. Mary's Saints. Schramm far side here, gonna take the long two. It looks like not able to connect there. You gotta think Coach Burns isn't too happy with that look as it was contested. We are gonna have an out of bounds call right in front of the Shanley student section, and it is gonna be ball back over to the Deacons.
Yeah, it's always tough, those kinds of plays where you make a little mistake right in front of the opposing team's student section, because that'll give the student section energy, ultimately leading to the Deacons getting energy.
Mears getting a screen from Schramm, looking to drive off of it. Drives right to the middle of the hoop, able to put up a little floater. Looks like he might have got hit, but they aren't going to call a foul, and the ball goes over to PC and the Packers. Lyman down low, guarded by Hoffer. That's a mismatch down there with the taller Lyman, able to connect for two, cutting the deficit to 2 for the Packers. DeKaiser driving on Bierenkopf, makes a nice move, able to get up, rebound to Schramm, and boy, is he having a heck of a game so far with a couple points and a couple rebounds to add to that. That is going to be the first personal on number 11, Brett Limke. Third on the Packers for the game. Schramm at the line, shooting 2. First one is no good. We'll have to see if the Deacons are able to do a little bit better job here today, as against St. Mary's Saints. They did struggle at the charity stripe.
Yeah, and that's a trend that we've seen so far this year, and also last year. The Deacons, they were kind of notorious for missing pretty frequently at the free throw line.
Not able to connect on the second either. Schramm did have some struggles from the free throw line in the last game, so we'll have to see if he can figure that out to try to help the Deacons. They are going to get a travel called there on number 22 for the Packers. Now into the game for Schramm is Bath.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Bath fares against Lyman, who, I mean, he was doing pretty much everything he could over Roman Schramm. Roman Schramm being a great defender, but Lyman, he still seemed to be kind of dominating that matchup.
You got to think Lyman's going to be licking his chops to get on the offensive side to battle Bath down low, but it's not going to be an easy task with the length and height that Bath has. Nice move there by Hoffer, but Miller is able to strip the ball. Packers out in transition here. Hegerly with the 2-point basket, not able to fall. Looks like we will have ball back to the Packers as it does go off the Deacons trying to rebound it. Quick, easy inbound play for the Packers, and they are able to get that 2-point basket, which ties the game at 9 points. Lyle running the offense for the Deacons. Kicks it over to Kenny. Kenny driving middle. Over to Mears. Open 3-point attempt. Does not take it. Kicks over to Hoffer. Hoffer on Miller. That's another great matchup to watch for, as we have 2 leading point guards in the Eastern Dakota Conference matching up. Missed shot there by Bath. You know, a lot of fans, both Packers and Deacons fans, can expect Bath to shoot it from all over. 3-point long twos and inside the paint here today.
Yeah, definitely. In the last game, he kind of showed us that even though he's tall and you'd expect him down lower in the paint, he can shoot it from basically anywhere. And, I mean, he can make shots from pretty much anywhere as well.
They are going to get that foul on Owen Mears. That'll be his first of the game. First free throw attempt is no good. Back into the Deacon is Smith, and for the Packers, number 4, Daniel. Second attempt to give the Packers the lead is also no good. So a couple errors here by both teams, missing 2 shots at the free throw line. Nice pass there inside to Lyman, able to finish over Hoffer and Bath. What a play there for the Packers. Hoffer guarded by Miller again. Makes a nice move, takes a step back 3. Not able to connect as it hits the front of the iron. And Smith able to save it, but throws it right back out of bounds. Deacons matching up here in a full court man-to-man press. We'll see how the Packers respond to that and if they are able to break it with ease. Smith guarding the ball here. Miller in front of the coach's bench. Hagerly guarded closest by Kenny there. Daniel driving baseline. Looks like they are going to get him for a travel as he took just a few too many steps there as Hoffer tried to shut him down in front of the hoop. Hagerly guarding Lyer as he brings the ball up the floor. Dishes it right out to Kenny, who gives it immediately over to Smith. Smith looking for someone, gives it to Lyer. Lyer in the corner. Kenny, looks like they're looking for Bath down low, but great defense there by Lyman. Looks like Kenny got away with the travel, but it doesn't matter as it is swatted by Hunter Lyman. Rebound by Lyman there and gets fouled on the play as he shows some excitedness with the big smile there.
Yeah, with Hunter Lyman, kind of similar to what I was saying with Mo Hakeem, it's very hard to guard him, so it's very easy to just try and stop him in any way possible and just foul him to stop the basket.
He's going to be a very tough matchup for all teams this year, but one guy that will have a really good shot at guarding him is going to be Grant Nelson out of Devil's Lake, so they'll have to look for that, and that'll be another very nice matchup down low in the post. Second attempt is no good as Hoffer brings the ball up with the Deacons down by 3 points here. Bath with the screen and not able to connect though as Lyer to Bath as it is stolen by Hagerly, who kicks over to Peace in the corner for a three, but is stolen immediately by Kenny. Kenny looking to drive, shut down there by Daniel. Long three-point attempt by Smith, not able to connect as the Packers are back out in transition. And they are going to get the basket and the foul call, which will send Hagerly to the line for one shot.
Packers are starting to look a little dangerous here as they're able to draw fouls, and you can see the energy on the players after they draw the fouls, and that's something you definitely don't want to give the Packers the upper hand in, is energy if you're on the Deacon side.
Looks like their nerves has kind of settled here in their first game. It looks like they're getting comfortable and getting back to that team that the Packers have been the past couple years. As a handful of players check in for both squads, Hagerly is at the line, shooting for the third shot, but is not able to connect. Kenny now leading the Deacons offense here, gives it right over to Bath, right over to Mears. Looks like he's going to drive inside, find a wide open to Kaiser in the corner for the three-point attempt, and it's good. Cuts the deficit for 2 points in this ball game.
Yeah, to Kaiser, so far he's kind of struggled with that three ball a little bit, but hopefully after that basket he'll be able to get in a little bit of a rhythm outside of the arc.
Limke with a nice move there, puts it up, able to connect on a tough floater there over the tall Bath. What a heck of a play there by Limke.
Yeah, the West Fargo offense is definitely looking very strong so far in this game.
Smith looking for a pick and roll, not able to find it. Swings it over to Kenny, who's trying to drive inside there, and it looks like it's going to be another foul call on Hagerly. He's a very good defender, but that also results in a lot of fouls being called against him. It's going to be the second of the game on Hagerly and the fourth on the Packers. A few players checking in again for both teams, as that last player on the floor for the Packers was number 3, Reeves. Finds Strayman down low. Now he's going to be guarded by Bierenkot as Lyman was subbed out at that last dead ball there. We'll have to keep an eye on that and see if they use him down low. Missed attempt there by Owen Mears. Looks like they are going to get another foul called on Roman Strema for going over the back of the Packer. That'll be the first of the game on Strema. And we'll have to see if he's able to stay out of foul trouble. His last game against the Saints, he was not able to do so, and the fouls added up early against him. Miller up top, kicks it over to Bierenkot with a wide open three-point attempt, decides to take it and is good. Hits the back of the rim and the front of the rim and falls in, extending the lead to 7 for the West Fargo Packers. Kenny makes a nice move driving baseline. It looks like they are going to get a hold or a reach on number 3 for the Packers, Blessing Reeves. That's going to be the first on Reeves this game and the 5th on the West Fargo Packers. Kenny struggling to get the ball in, able to find it open to Kaiser, who puts up a 2-point basket, not able to connect. Tough rebound for Strema, goes up and gets the foul called, which will send him to the line. The big question now, will he be able to connect on at least 1 or maybe 2 of the attempts? They are going to call that number 2, Matt Miller. That'll be his first of the game, and from here on out this half, both teams will be in the bonus. That's another thing to watch out for. as that helped the Deacons in their last game against the Saints.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, as we kind of touched on, the Deacons, they've had some struggles from the free throw line, but that bonus, that could be a huge component, especially with a close game, only 6-point differential right now between the two teams. That could be huge.
Whoever makes more free throws at the charity stripe will most likely walk away with this game. Looks like the rebound does come down to the Packers as a couple Packers fall to the floor there. Matt Miller with a nice move on Mears, kicks it to the corner for Reeves. Reeves back to Miller up top, sets up the offense and backs out. Nice pass there by Limke, or to Limke, excuse me, and it looks like they are going to get a block on the play, so it will be Limke headed to the line for the 1-and-1. They are going to get Shrema on that, so that's a quick 2 fouls in the last couple minutes here for Shrema.
Yeah, as shown by the fouls committed by both teams, you can tell that this is a very competitive and aggressive game so far for both teams. I mean, they both have a lot of talented players, and they both have a couple players who have a big size differential between the other players, and that easily contributes to the competitive and ferocity of this game.
With those 2 fouls, Shrema will head to the bench as Bath checked in for him. Limke's second attempt is no good and falls down to the tall Bath. 7-point lead here for the Packers with just under 9 minutes remaining here from Fargo, North Dakota at Shanley High School. DeKaiser with a nice drive, kicks it out to Mears for the open 3, up and no good. Reeves comes down with the rebound, looking to push the pace as the Deacons are trying to get back. Deacons do stop and make it tough, and he does not finish, but Lyman is able to get the rebound and go up and will be awarded the foul, so will be awarded 2 shots at the charity stripe. You know, Lyman isn't always able to make those baskets, but he is able to put himself in a scoring position at the free throw line.
Yeah, and we see there again the excitement and the energy on Lyman's face after drawing that foul. I mean, that's definitely something you don't want to give Lyman, is extra confidence and extra energy if you're on the Deacon side of the ball.
So after that foul is called on Mears, that is now 3 players for the Deacons with 2 fouls in this half, as Lyman is able to connect on one of the 2 shots. Hoffer over to Bath up top. Boys, Lyman keeping him wide open. Nice pass there, but it is stolen by Matt Miller, and it looks like he is going to go up for a nice layup attempt and is able to convert, extending the lead to the lead-high game of 10 points. Hoffer driving left side. Gets it knocked away by Miller, gets the ball back, kicks it out to Kenny. Kenny to Bath. Bath takes the open 3 attempt. Not good as it rattles in and out, hits the backboard, and comes down to Kenny and the Deacons. Hoffer backs out, finds Kenny for the open 3. See if he can put it in, and he cannot. Packers able to extend the lead past 10 points on this possession. Reeves in the near corner. Miller over to Limke in front of the Deacons bench. Lyman going to work on Bath. Not able to get the basket, but again, able to go to the free throw line. And we'll see if he can connect on 2 free throw here.
Yeah, with their 9th foul so far in this half, the Deacons are 1 foul away from giving the Packers a double bonus. And with a 10-point lead already, you definitely do not want to give them the double bonus, giving them more momentum going into halftime.
Especially with that 8 minutes left and the Packers being a usually common good team in past years from the charity stripe. Kenny now to the Deacons bench. Lyman is able to convert on the last 2, so that will be Lyman heading to the bench now for Reeves, it looks like. Excuse me, that will be number 4, Daniel. 12-point lead here for the Packers. Deacons need to score here, otherwise it could get out of hand quick. It could get ugly.
Yeah, the Packers, they already have tons of momentum so far, and they definitely need a score here, which they will not get, giving the Packers even more momentum.
Nice move for Bath there, but not able to connect as the Packers are looking to score already early down low by Daniel. Blocked there by Patrick Bath. Freshman making his presence known early. It's going to be out of bounds to the Deacons. A little bit of full court pressure there for the Packers, but they back off, and DeKaiser will walk the ball up the floor. Hoffer up to Smith up top, finds Lyer. Lyer to Bath down low. Nice pump fake there, trying to drive on the Daniel. Able to get the basket to go end the foul, says the referee, which will result in the chance at the 3-point play.
It's little plays like that that'll kind of start a little spark for a little rally for the Deacons going here, as with the potential to get the 3-point play here by Bath, that could be huge in kind of turning around the energy of this game.
Looks like the Packers head coach was not a fan of the last couple of possessions as Lyman is quickly off the bench and back into the game. Bath for the 3-point play, and it is good. The lead is now 9 for the Packers. Lyer guarding Limke closely. Hagerly trying to drive on Hoffer, gives it down to Lyman, see if he can go to work again. Looks like they are going to call a block there on Bath. It's going to be a clean play, and the Deacons are going to come away with the ball. Smith to DeKaiser in the corner. Pull-up jump shot. Not good. And they are going to get a foul called on Bath. Looks like he did go over the back. Bath doesn't agree, but I believe that was the right call. Yeah, well,
while he has drawn a couple fouls doing that, Patrick Bath, he's been kind of the catalyst for this little momentum shift for the Deacons, as he's had a couple great blocks on defense and that 3-point play that we just saw a couple seconds ago.
So the first one is not good for Lyman. You got to think Coach Burns is not too happy with the amount of fouls that are adding up here for the Deacons, and it will definitely be something to talk about at halftime. So both are not good for Lyman. Maybe the right play is fouling him and see if he can get lucky at the charity stripe.
I mean, the Deacons, they definitely need to cut down on all the energy that Lyman brings to the Packers offense.
Smith to Bath down low. 2-point shot over. Lyman is not good. Hagerly has some troubles coming down with rebound. Hoffer for a 3-point attempt. No good. Both teams fighting for the ball here, and Lyman grabs it, and the Packers are out in transition as DeKaiser's behind the play. Running a little gingerly. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Basket is good for the Packers, which extends lead back out to 11 with just under 6 minutes remaining in the first half. Bath setting the screen for DeKaiser. DeKaiser trying to take the taller Lyman, is not able to convert on that 2-point basket, and immediately the Packers are out in transition trying to get a basket. Quick passing there by the Packers results in a nice move there by Lyman, but he's not able to finish with Bath bringing the rebound down for the Deacons. No one there for DeKaiser, but Lyer is able to grab the ball up top. Bath for a 3-point shot. Even though he's not making them, he's not scared of shooting those outside.
Yeah, he's definitely for his size, he's a pretty good utility player. I mean, he's able to shoot from basically anywhere, and he's pretty much able to do anything from anywhere.
Looks like that last shot did not make Coach Burns happy, as he immediately gets Roman Schramm off the bench to go back in with those 2 personal fouls. Bath does, however, come down with the rebound. Smith over to Lyer. Lyer to DeKaiser right away. Over to Hoffer, looking for Bath down low. Finds him. Pump fakes there, trying to drive on Lyman. Little fade away, not able to finish. That'll be another missed shot there for the Deacons. Nice recovery there by Hagerly to Lyman. And yet again, Lyman will be headed to the line for 2 free throw attempts. He's got to have close to 10 so far. It's going to be the first personal foul on number 15, Braden DeKaiser. Good news for the Deacons, as that is his first. First attempt is up and does rattle around and falls down. Handful of players here entering the game. Second attempt from Lyman's up and also good. It's appearing that he's either going to make both or miss both. From the free throw line, Lyman is 6 from 10, so he's shooting about 60% from the charity stripe. Smith with the 3-point attempts, good. And we saw that against the Saints. He was able to connect on a couple and put up a game high of 21 points for the Deacons.
Yeah, Smith, he could be a big part of engineering a little bit of a comeback here, as he got very hot with those 3-pointers last Saturday against the Saints.
Strong aggressive rebound there by Schramm as the Deacons look to cut into this deficit even more. DeKaiser, nice floater attempt there, not able to finish with Lyman entering that baseball pass to Miller. Quick transition basket for the Packers. Very nice play there from Lyman to Miller for the 2 points. We are going to have a 30-second timeout on the floor called by Andrew Burns and the Deacons. If you're the Packers and their coach, you got to be happy with how they responded to this first game and how the energy that they have brought.
Definitely. They've been able to make plays, and as soon as they get a little spark of energy, they're able to turn that into plays and just generate a good amount of offense. But for Shanley's side, I mean, offensively, there's not a whole lot they're doing wrong besides missing shots, and that's kind of something we saw on Saturday against St. Mary's, that they're able to move the ball around and generate good offense, but they just can't get their shots to land.
As we see on the replay here, nice basket by Bierenkot. That's his bread and butter there, when he's able to drive inside that lane and able to put up a nice 2-point shot. Here we see him shooting from beyond the arc. 3-point shows that he can just shoot from pretty much about anywhere. Smith now bringing the ball up the floor for the Deacons. Over to Hoffer. Smith now up top, looking for someone to pass to. Calling for a screen from Stramer. We'll see how he uses it here. Finds Lyer up top. Lyer driving on that taller Daniel. Lyer, nice floater attempt, but not good. And Lyman able to come down with another rebound. He's got to be close to a double-double already. Limke guarded by Smith, over to Miller. Miller guarded heavily by Hoffer. Trying to make a move on him and get past him, but it's nothing there with about 10 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Limke driving right side. Looks like they are going to have a turnover for the Packers as the Deacons have a little bit of 3-on-2. Hoffer extended pass to Smith, not able to be handled though by Smith, which will result in the turnover and give the ball back to the Packers.
And the energy, it just appears to stay in the Packers' favor no matter what the Deacons try to do.
Nice steal there by the Deacons, but not able to finish the 2-point basket. Miller looking for someone to pass to, finds Limke. Guarded close by Lyer, able to get past him to Daniel in the corner for the 3 attempt, just long. Packers able to come down with the rebound, however. Nice entry pass there to Lyman. Lyman does miss, able to get his own rebound and gets the foul called. You know, if he's going to miss that first shot, you can expect a rebound because he does not say no.
For sure, and this will be his 12th shots from the free throw line in the first half, and that is just something the Deacons are definitely going to have to improve on in the second half, is not giving so many fouls and so many free throws to Lyman.
As you're a coach of the opposing team, you never want 12 shots for a team by itself, let alone a player. As that'll be the 3rd foul on Strame already, which will result in Coach Burns subbing in Bath. Second attempt is up and good, which will now put him at 7 for 12 at the free throw line. 13-point lead here for the Packers with about 2 minutes remaining in the first half. Smith up top, finds Lyer over in front of the coach of the Packers. Hoffer up top, over to Smith. Smith looking like he wants to make a move, able to make a move, get the shot up. Not good as it misses everything. Bath with the rebound, puts up the 2-point shot as time expires on the shot clock. Heck of a play and a lot of experience there from Bath to know that the shot clock was about to expire.
Yeah, for a freshman, Bath is playing like he's almost a senior out there. He's making some great basketball smart plays.
Definitely looking like an upperclassman out there. He's playing defense on the low post against Lyman. PC up top, swings over to Miller. Under 10 seconds remaining on the shot clock, trying to get past, but DeKaiser is playing some great D. PC for the 3-point attempt, no good. Rebound comes down to Lyer in the far corner. Lyer taking the ball up the floor for the Deacons. Smith now has it on the near side. Hoffer looked like he was going to take it. Floater over the tall Lyman. Heck of a play there for Hoffer to have it over Lyman, and the nice touch for it to fall through. Another 3-point attempt for the Packers is no good, and see if the Deacons can use this possession to get a little scoring run of their own. Fumbled ball there by Hoffer, but it's able to get it back and get a foul called, which will send him to the line for the 1-and-1. A lot of fans of the Packers and their student section wanted a travel called, but I did not see one as he was fumbling the ball during that play. They're going to call that foul on number 22, Peace, of the Packers.
And that was a nice play by Hoffer, and that's another thing I've kind of seen tonight is even though the Deacons aren't always making their shots, they're doing a great job of responding to little mistakes or little miscues that may be caused by the Packers.
Second attempt is up and rattles in, which cuts the deficit to 7 points with just under a minute remaining in the half. Lyer guarding Limke closely. Limke trying to drive baseline and does so. Not able to find anyone, and it luckily goes off Hoffer out of bounds right onto his bench. Packers getting into the formation they want so they can call the correct play to hopefully score and maybe get the ball back. A little 2-for-1 is what they call it. Lyman with a quick entry pass. Not able to finish with Bath coming down to the rebound. Smith bringing the ball up the floor. Bath kind of wanting it, but they're not going to give it to him. DeKaiser makes a nice move. Able to get up the floor, not able to finish. We've seen a couple of times now that he's able to get past his defender, just can't have that nice touch and finish.
Yeah, DeKaiser, he's always a great little shifty player who's able to make plays and kind of weave his way through the defense. But yeah, like you said, he's just having a little trouble burying the baskets.
Looks like we are going to have a foul on the play, which will send Matt Miller to the charity stripe for 2 shots. And that is going to be the 3rd personal on Patrick Bath. So now both big men for the Deacons in some early foul trouble, and it's not even the second half yet. If you're Coach Burns, you got to be a little bit worried because you don't know who's your next guy off the bench for the Bigs. So definitely got to take that into consideration going into half.
Yeah, for sure, especially with how dominant Lyman has been and how easy it's been for him to draw fouls. It would be very hard for the Deacons defense to try to contain him with both their big men on the bench.
Miller's second attempt is up and good. Goes 1 for 2 at the line. Deacons able to hold for the last shot here with the shot clock turned off. Piece guarding Jackson Lyer. Smith making a move on Limke. Able to get the basket to go and the foul, which will result in a chance at the 3-point play. Looks like they are going to get number 11, Limke there. That'll be his 2nd of the game. 9th team foul on the Packers. So from here on out, doesn't really mean much, but both teams will be in the double bonus. Misses the free throw attempt, but is able to get the ball back as Hoffer for the Deacons with just about 5 seconds remaining. Kenny gets the open 3-point attempt, puts it up, able to connect as time expires, cutting the deficit to 3 points for the Deacons. If you're the Deacons, that's exactly what you need to close out a half. How big is it to have the momentum going into halftime?
It's huge because, I mean, it could be big or it could be bad because with a lot of momentum, it's easy to lose it when you're not playing and you're just sitting around and talking. But if you can keep that momentum up and just kind of stay focused, stay locked in, that could be big going into the second half.
And if you're the Packers, what are you talking about at halftime if you were close up by 15 and now it's only 3 points? What are you talking about at halftime to your players?
I think for them, all they got to do is keep the energy up. When they got the energy and when they got that little bit of swagger, especially from Lyman after you draw like 12 fouls every 5 minutes, all that energy really shows on the scoreboard. As when they had that energy, they were up like almost 12 points at times, but then they kind of lose it and give the Deacons momentum, and as we see here, only a 3-point lead going into halftime for the Packers.
And you got to think both teams will be looking towards their veteran leaders in the second half, as Hoffer is leading the Deacons with 7, as well as Stramo with 7. Lyman leading the Packers with 11 points, Bierenkott with 7. So both senior veterans for each team and leading their teams in the first half. Well, folks, we have a 3-point lead for the Packers, but don't go away, as in about 10 minutes we have the second half of this great basketball game.
This broadcast is presented by American Family Insurance, Ken Craft Agency, Bell Bank, Beyond Boundaries Therapy Services, Butler Machinery, Ed's Marine, the Fargo Jet Center, First International Bank and Trust, Forum Communications, Haley's Hope, Hurley's Religious Goods, Luther Family Buick GMC, Master Construction, Moore Engineering, Network Center, Northern Improvement, Off the Wall Advertising, Robert Gibb and Sons, Sanford, Shields, Taxman, TCI Insurance, and Wolf Steel Construction.
Before we get back into the action, I would like to remind you that Shanley TV is made possible in part by the Shanley Athletic Club and their generous members. Check out their website today at shanleyathleticlub.com to learn how your membership contributes to Shanley TV, the Deacon Den, and many other student-athlete needs. While you're there, be sure to renew your annual membership by clicking the Join Now button or become a member if you're not one already. It is easy to become a member, and anyone can join, so sign up today. The Shanley Athletic Club, taking Deacon Athletics to a higher level. Well, Andy, now that both teams are back out from the halftime break, what are you looking for in the second half?
Well, I'm kind of looking for the Deacons to be able to hit a couple more shots because, I mean, they were getting good opportunities in the first half, but they just weren't able to bury them half the time. And on the Packers side, I mean, they were doing everything, almost everything completely right. They had a lot of energy. They were able to make their shots as they just do here. And, I mean, they were kind of rolling, and I don't expect a lot to change for them.
Great response from the Packers, as the Deacons did have a little momentum going into halftime, cutting that lead down to 3. Mears up top to Smith. Smith right away over to DeKaiser. Looks down low for Schramm. It looks like they are going to try to attack Lyman, maybe get some more fouls on him and get him out of this ball game. Mears with the floater, not able to connect. Limke able to come down with the rebound for the Packers. Quick over to Matt Miller. Looks like they are going to get him for a travel as he jumped into that shot. Even though he did make it, it does not count with the travel call. Smith bringing the ball up the floor for the Deacons. Gives it right over to DeKaiser. Hoffer up against Miller. Floater is able to go in, cutting the deficit back to 3 for the Deacons. And I would like to mention before we get any further into this half is that both teams did start with the same starters for this half as they did in the first. Oh, stolen ball there by Hagerly. Very nice play on the defensive end. Nice pass from Miller as he got tripped. Good finish there. Not able to connect though as Bierenkot, as Miller is down in some pain underneath all the players. We'll have to see if he is able to get up and walk this one off. That would be a huge loss there for the Packers. Looks like he is able to get up and is going to continue to be in this game, as it will be the Deacons' ball here with about 2 minutes, just about 2 minutes into the second half. Mears over in front of his coach. Hoffer looks like he was going to step into 3, decides not to take it. Smith, taller lineman on him, finds Schramm down low with a little bit of a mismatch, although Hagerly's a good inside player as well. Schramm with the travel there as he kind of hop-stepped and then did it again. So it will be a turnover, and the ball will go over to the Packers.
Yeah, that's a tough break as Schramm had a great opportunity to pick the ball up and go for a layup, but unfortunately with the travel, he was not able to do that. Would
have been a very nice move if you just put the ball on the floor once. As we almost have a turnover here for the Packers as DeKaiser and Mears trap Limke in the corner. We got an alley-oop there to Lyman. It looks like they're going to call goaltending on Schramm as he does hit the backboard after Lyman's shot connected with the board. So it will be 2 points for the Packers. Smith bringing the ball the floor for the Deacons, gives it right over to DeKaiser. Nice pass there from Hoffer to Mears. Mears with the taller lineman on him. Nice pass there as the Packers were trying to switch the defenders. Gives it back to a 3-point deficit for the Deacons.
Excellent vision there to see your Schramm down pretty much wide open to go for that easy layup.
Nice pass there again by Hagerly. A few good plays there with the vision. Unfortunately, Lyman is not able to hold on to the ball, and it will be Deacons' ball. Mears in the corner looking for Hoffer up top. Gets stolen by Matt Miller, who have a nice easy layup attempt and will lay it in for 2 points for the Packers.
It's plays like that you definitely don't want to give up on the Deacons side, because those plays just give your team a ton of momentum going into the rest of the game.
DeKaiser misses that 2-point pull-up shot. Packers are trying to extend their lead. Miller working down low on Smith. Stolen by the Deacons and DeKaiser. DeKaiser with a 2-on-1. Hoffer with a nice easy layup attempt as well. And that brings it back to a 3-point deficit for the Deacons. So a little bit of a back and forth game here as we start the second half. Wouldn't expect anything else though.
No, and it'll be interesting to see if the Deacons will be able to overcome this little 3-point hump that they haven't been able to get over. That's kind of been the difference here as the lead will go back to 5.
Bierenkot fakes the pass and pulls up for the 2-point basket, which he does convert. DeKaiser now passes over to Hoffer, right over to Smith with a quick 3-point attempt. Not able to finish, but Schramm down with the rebound, puts it up, gets the foul for 2 points. Might be a 3-point play here as pending the free throw. That'll be the second foul on Lyman. Nothing to worry about quite yet for the Packers, but if he gets maybe 1 or 2 more, definitely going to start worrying if you're a Packers fan. Shrema to convert 3-point play. He does. 3 points there for the Deacons as they are now applying a full court pressure against the Packers. Limke drives, gets stopped by Shrema, kicks it out to Miller. Miller sets up the offense just in front of the Deacon logo at half court. Open shot for Limke behind the arc, not able to finish, and Shrema gets the board for the Deacons as the Deacons can tie or even take the lead with the basket. Mears driving against Limke. Nice pass. Bounce pass there to Shrema. Goes up against Lyman, and they are going to call a clean play there on Lyman. So Packers out in transition. They will get a foul on this side of the floor, though. So Matt Miller will go to the line for 2 shots. They are going to call that number 5, Tallenhofer. That'll be his first of the game. First this half for the Deacons. Miller from the line is good on that first attempt. Now in for the Packers is number 3, Blessing Reeves. In for 21, Hagerly. Matt Miller is able to connect on the second one as well, which extends lead back out to 4 for the Deacons. Tallenhofer, the 6'3" point guard for the Deacons, passes over to Smith. Mears on the near side here, being guarded very closely by Limke. Mears now switched off with Lyman Arden, but throws it right over to Matt Miller. And Limke right back to Matt Miller. Over to Reeves. Looks like he's going to shoot, but decides to drive there on Smith. Packers looking for the right shot, not a quick shot here on this possession. Lyman going to work down low. Shrema's saying, I'm not going to give it to you easy, and not able to connect as Lyman, with Shrema coming down with the rebound.
That was a great job there by the Packers on offense to be patient and slowly move the ball around and look for a open lane rather than trying to rush a bad pass.
A lot of times at the high school level as well, you want to shoot a lot and score a lot of points, so that tends to get bad looks. But a very well-coached Packers team here, and that shows on that patience there on that possession. 3 is good there by Limke. Extends lead back out to 7 for the Packers as they go on a little bit of a scoring run here.
Yeah, that was a huge play for the Packers, as not only do they have a 7-point lead now, but it appears their student section is really into it, and hopefully that'll translate to their team.
Hofer driving middle over the taller Lyman and Reeves. He gets the basket to go. Looks like we are going to have a 30-second timeout by the Deacons here as a handful of players check in to the game. And Andy, did you think it was going to be a fast-paced tempo all game? I was not expecting this, certainly with 2 bigs down low, but it's turned out to be a heck of a game so far.
Yeah, I was definitely somewhat expecting that because as we saw last Saturday against St. Mary's, Shanley, they were able to keep the tempo pretty much the entire game, and at times it almost seemed like the tempo kept getting bigger and bigger. And West Fargo, a very talented team, they've been able to respond to that tempo and keep up with them, and dare I say, have a little faster tempo than the Deacons.
And for the Packers, with 4 key returners coming back from last year, they know how to get out in transition and how much running they need to do before the season to get in shape.
Yeah, and we've definitely seen a lot of those plays where 1 or 2 Packers will get wide open going down the court, and then someone will be able to throw a baseball pass and just for an easy wide open layup.
Full court pressure here for the Deacons. Able to get it into Miller. Pushing the pace a little bit, gives it off to Reeves. Reeves finds Rude down low, not able to hold on to it, and Hofer comes away with the steal. Bierencott guarding Hofer. Hoffing looked for a mismatch down low with Shrema against the shorter Rude. Throws it right to Matt Miller. That's his 2nd steal in a row where he's just caught it right in between the numbers. Takes it to himself and gets a 3-point basket to go, extending the lead back out to 8 for the West Fargo Packers. Smith up top, guarded by Limke. Kenny finds Hoffer. Almost stolen there by Matt Miller. Hoffer making moves on Miller. Gets a nice basket there, but gets rejected. And the Packers are out in transition once again. Looks like he was kind of fading away as Bierenkow was shooting that. Not able to connect or hit anything as Smith pushes the pace. Nice pass there to Roman. Not able to finish though, as it looked like he wanted to dunk. Just didn't quite go up strong enough. 3-point open attempt by Limke, able to connect again for a second three in a row. Extends the lead back out to 11 for the Packers.
And there we see that play again. That'll just give the Packers a ton of energy, give their student section a ton of energy, and it's really showing here as they're extending this lead play by play. Yeah,
the student section has kind of came to life here as they're now standing on their feet, cheering their team to win this ball game, as we have Bath and Lyman checking in, as well as DeKaiser for the Deacons. So that last foul was on number 3, Blessing Reeves. That'll be a second of tonight's contest. Kenny inbounding the ball down low. Finds Bath. Immediately hands it right off to Kenny, who hands it off to Smith. Bath with the screen on the right side for Kenny. Drives baseline, gets a little bit stuck, and throws it right into the backcourt, which is stolen by Reeves, who goes up for the layup attempt and converts. Extends the lead once again for the Packers. We'll see if the Deacons have a response on this end of the floor.
Yeah, that was a tough play by Kenny down low, as it looked like he had an open shooting lane, but as soon as he started to drive, it just got closed up by the Packer defense.
Smith trying to make moves on Limke, not able to do so, but finds an open Kenny, who shoots a three. Not good. You know, usually he's a pretty good three-point shooter, but to start this year, he's kind of struggling. So we'll have to see if he's able to find it here and help the Deacons. Reeves with the three-point attempt. Rebound comes down to Lyman. Very strong inside there. Pass out to Limke for a third three-pointer in a row, and he converts. Extends the lead to 16 for the Packers, and the Packer faithful is on their feet cheering their team. Big run here for the Packers that once it was close to under a 5-point game, but now is almost out of reach for the Deacons unless they do something here. If you're the coaching staff for the Deacons, what are you telling your team after this scoring run?
I mean, if you're the Deacons, you definitely got to defend that three ball better. That has been deadly, as that has given the Packers a 16-point lead now. And as you said, it's starting to look like it's kind of out of reach for the Deacons. But, I mean, if they played anything like they did in the first half, where they had a lot of tempo and a lot of energy, and if they can make their shots, then they could definitely start to come back here. But right now, it's not looking too great for the Deacons.
And we would like to mention that if you have enjoyed watching our ShanleyTV.com broadcast, please consider making a donation to help us continue to bring you quality programming. We rely on donations to bring you every broadcast, and we need your help to continue to improve the quality of our productions and to add new features for you, the viewer, to enjoy. If you are interested in donating, please contact Joel Shuey at 701-893-3225. Again, that is 701-893-3225. Thank you for watching, and thanks for your support of Shanley TV. Now as both teams break their huddles here at that last timeout, we'll see if the Deacons have a response to maybe shut down this Packers scoring run. Lyer passing the ball into Smith. Smith able to corral it and bring the ball for the Deacons. Lyer now in front of the Deacons bench. Being closely guarded by Reeves, and just a little too close, the ref says, as they will get a foul called on him. That'll be his third of the game, and that'll be the third team foul on the Packers this half. Path in the corner, driving on that lineman. Gives it off to Kenny. Gets stripped by Reeves. Very good aggressive play by both teams. They are going to get a foul call. It looks like on Emmett Kenny as he reached in on Reeves. You know, that could have gone either way, but you got to respect both teams for trying to hustle and get that ball.
Yeah, the Deacons are definitely in a tough spot right now, as they're trying to be aggressive and they're trying to make plays. But, I mean, all the momentum just maintains in the Packers' favor, and they're making aggressive plays too and matching up with the Deacons, and there's not much Shanley can do right now.
Looks like the Deacons are going to do a little half-court trapping here in a zone defense. with Peace not able to connect, but a big rebound there by Lyman. They're going to get a foul as he slaps the floor after that amazing play by Lyman. You know, he's a very strong guy down low, and I was able to play with him when I was younger, and I never wanted to face him when I was growing up because I was either afraid he was going to dunk on me or swat me three rows deep into the crowd.
Yeah, he's definitely someone who can make pretty much any type of play that'll make a lot of noise for one team.
Packers inbounding the ball now underneath their own hoop. Gets it into Lyman. Throws it right to Smith, and he gets it out to Mears in transition, but they slow down a little bit, and we are going to have a reach in there on number 22 Peace of the Packers. That'll be the fourth foul on the Packers this half, as well as the second on Joel Peace in this game. Mears looking for someone to pass to on the inbounds play. Finds Lyer in the corner. Lyer back up to Mears. Design screen there for himself. Kaiser driving baseline. Nice pass off to Shrema. Shrema able to connect. And the Deacons are finally able to shut down that scoring run that the Packers had. Tip ball there off Smith and then off Reeves, so it will be a turnover and head over to the Deacons. Checking in for the Packers will be Hagerly for Reeves. Both teams tonight have had some very nice bench play as they have put up some quality points for both squads. Mears over to Lyer, guarded closely by Hagerly, who just entered the game. Smith over to Shrema, over to Mears. Coach Burns questioning what they're running here as Mears takes a long two, but instead they are going to get an offensive foul there. Looks like they're going to call an illegal screen on 24, Roman Shrema, which that is not good news for the Deacons as that is his fourth foul this game. So that will send him to the bench for a couple minutes as a 6'8 freshman, Patrick Bath, enters the game. Correction, they do not enter Bath, which is a little bit surprising, not having him big in there to guard Lyman. Stolen pass there by DeKaiser. Nice move there by Hagerly. Drives inside, pulls up, does not get it to go though, as Mears fights for the rebound and is able to corral in the far corner there. Nice pass there underneath to DeKaiser. Hoffer out to Smith. Smith drives on Hagerly. They are going to get a reach-in foul, it looks like, on Hagerly. That is going to be his third of the game, fifth on the Packers this half. Bierenkot in for Peace. Hoffer inbounding the ball. Finds Smith in the corner. Hoffer up top, driving to the right side, pulls it back out and gives it to Lyer, who fakes the attempt, throws up a floater, and gets it back to the Packers.
I mean, the Deacons, they're just in a tough spot right now. They're in a little bit of a rut where they keep doing that where they'll open up a good opportunity to score, but they're just not able to bury the basket. I mean, they'll get around a couple defenders, and it almost looks like it'll go in, but then it'll bounce out off when it hits the rim.
And that's what separates good teams from great teams. Good teams are able to make those moves, and great teams are able to capitalize on them, as we do have a foul called on the play, which will send Smith to the line for 2 shots. It's going to be a third personal foul on Limke. From here on out, the Deacons will be in the bonus. First attempt for the senior point guard is good. Second attempt is now up and is also good. Goes 2 for 2 at the line. And if the Deacons want any chance at winning this game, they're going to have to start making those free throws and making them consistently. Nice move there by Lyman. No foul call on the play as Hoffer falls over. We are going to have a jump ball on the play, and it is going to stay with the Packers as Daniel heads to the scorer's table to check in. Daniel comes in for Limke. Miller throwing the ball in for the Packers, looking for Bierenkot down low. Does not find him, throws it up to Hagerly as a last resort. Tough defense guarded by Mears and Smith. Shot is up from Miller, able to hit all parts of the rim and fall in for a huge three-point basket for the Packers.
I mean, the Packers, they remain consistent with that three ball, and that's really giving them an edge.
And a huge answer back for DeKaiser with a three-point basket of his own. Mears running all over top, guarding all those players he can up top. Hegerly finds Lyman down low. Lyman going to work on that smaller DeKaiser, is able to go up and over him to connect on that easy two-point basket. Mears to DeKaiser for another three-point shot, and it's good. Boy, is he feeling it right now.
That could be a huge part of this game. If he remains consistent with that three ball, there's a chance that the Deacons can come back.
And you mentioned that earlier. Once he gets going, it's hard to stop him. Deacons applying some full court pressure. Packers able to break it with a nice shot attempt there by Hagerly. Able to get it to go with the up and under. Very nice shot there by Hagerly. DeKaiser guarded by Lyman, excuse me. It looks like they are going to have a foul called on Lyman, which will be his third of the game. That will send DeKaiser to the free throw line as the Deacons are in the bonus. First attempt of the 1-and-1 is no good for the Deacons, so they're not able to capitalize on some free points there with the clock stopped. Miller with a deep three-point attempt. No good as it hits the back iron and bounces into the hands of DeKaiser for the Shanley rebound. DeKaiser full steam ahead, gives it over to Smith, who gives it to Lyer for the assist. Not able to connect his Lyer, though, with the Packers coming down with the rebound. Looks like no one's going to guard Hagerly there as he has an open basket, but is laying down on the floor in some pain. Hopefully that's just a little bruise and he's able to walk it off. So that foul will be on number 5, Talon Hoffer for the Deacons. That'll be his second personal. And the Packers fans are not happy here, as it does look like there is some blood coming from the face of Hagerly. And you can't be surprised by the Packers fans, as usually when there's blood, there is a foul called. We hope everything is okay with him, and we wish him the best of luck dealing with this injury here. It looks like we are going to have a timeout on the floor here. Looks like the Packers did call their timeout. Packers coaching staff wondering where the ball will be placed so they can design up their plays. If you're the Packers coaching staff, you definitely need to talk to your players to just settle down after the injury, because that could hurt you.
Yeah, it's easy to get really fired up after a play like that, and you kind of want to take it out on the other team, but hopefully the Packers do a good job here of remaining temperate and not getting too overexcited.
As both teams are soon to break their timeout huddles here, it will be the Packers' ball underneath their own hoop, as that foul was called on Talon Hoffer of the Deacons. Once the Deacons commit 2 more fouls, then the Packers will be in the bonus for the remainder of the game with about 5 minutes and 40 seconds remaining.
And the Packers, they've been pretty consistent from the free throw line so far tonight, so that would be very detrimental for the Deacons just to give them that many more points.
Inbounding the ball for the Packers is Miller. Trapped in the corner for the Packers is Bierenkopf, but is able to get it out nicely up to Limke. Tipped by Smith, tipped again, and the Deacons are able to come away with it with a steal by Mears. Pass stolen there by Limke. Couple passes stolen for the Packers, which is able to help them get some easy baskets. Miller over to Limke. Trap defense still by the Deacons as they are pouring it on the Packers right now with that trap defense. Not making anything easy. Packers doing a great job to pass around it, though, and getting that open basket. As we see, they're not able to convert as Bierenkopf, but still a nice look. DeKaiser now guarded by Reeves, over to Mears. Hoffer, open 3 attempts, going to take it, not going to connect, though, as rebound comes down to Bierenkopf.
Kind of seems like the Deacons' 3-ball that's really slowed down after those 2 by DeKaiser. It seems like they haven't been able to bury any of those.
Felt like we were going to see a little run there by the Deacons, but Packers did a very nice job answering that run. Drive by Miller, able to connect. No foul Clean play, says the ref, and the 2 points will be awarded to the Packers. Hoffer bringing the ball up the floor for the Deacons. Over to DeKaiser, driving middle. He's going to put up a floater. Looks like he's not going to connect as he's wanting a foul call, but there was not going to be one. Miller trapped there by Mears and Smith. Reeves with the three-point attempt. Not able to go as he just grazes the rim. Nice pass there from Smith to Hoffer on the outlet. Foul called on the play as the two-point shot is no good, but Talon Hoffer will be going to the line for 2 shots.
And Talon Hoffer is another one of those players who does a great job of going to the hoop very strong and has the great ability to draw fouls and put himself on the free throw line.
That foul will be on number 2, the Packers' Matt Miller. That'll be his 2nd of tonight's game. 8th on the Packers this half. First attempt is up and perfect. But every time we see Talon Hoffer head to the free throw line, we can expect a 2 for 2 out of him.
Yeah, he's one of the more consistent free throw shooters on the Deacons team who has often struggled from the charity stripe.
Handful of players in to the game. Hoffer's 2nd attempt, also perfect. 13-point lead for the Packers. Mears guarding Limke closely, asking for some help from Smith. Almost able to force a turnover, but Packers able to get control of the basketball. Miller looking for someone, finds Limke. Limke down to Peace, down to Lyman right away. Big swing pass over to Miller, almost over his head, but is able to control it. Bierenkot, nice floater in the middle of the lane. That's there all day, and he's taking advantage of it. If the Deacons want to have a chance at the end of this game, they need to start now. They need a basket on this possession as there's just a little bit over 3 minutes remaining. Step back, 3 by Smith, not good. Another rebound to Lyman.
Yeah, the Deacons, they haven't really been able to rally at all in this second half. They've gone on like 6, maybe 8-point runs, but I mean, besides that, they haven't been super consistent with their scoring.
Limke up top. Lyman just above the free throw line. Over to an open Matt Miller for 3, and it's good. The crowd for the Packers is loving this show they're seeing today. DeKaiser guarded closely by Bierenkot in the lower corner. Hoffer up top, guarded by Miller. Mears swings it over to Smith, who almost turns it over, but it's now calling for the screen from Shrema, as we'll have to watch, as Shrema does have 4 fouls in this game. Nice baseball pass there from Smith to Shrema, but they're going to call a foul on the ground, so the basket will not count. However, he will be sent to the line because the Deacons are in that 1-and-1 bonus, as that foul is called on number 2, Matt Miller, which is his 3rd of the game. First end of the 1-and-1 is good, so he will be awarded the 2nd shot. Back end of the 1-and-1 is also good.
Plays like that are huge, being down 16 right now with 2.5 minutes left. Well, it may be a little tough to come back. Every little bit, such as we saw there by Shrema, can really help.
Timeout West Fargo. They're going to call full timeout, it appears. Do you think that was just to set up the defense and what they want to do in this last 2 minutes and 30 seconds?
Yeah, I would say that would be to set up the defense. Obviously, offensively, there's not much more they can do or have to do, but they definitely don't want to let the Deacons go on a little run and get a little rally going here late in the game. So I'd agree that it's most likely just to set up their defense.
And if you're the Deacons, you got to think that they're going to stick with this trap, as it has worked pretty well, forcing a couple turnovers. Do you think they're going to sub back in Bath to go with a double big here?
I mean, it definitely wouldn't hurt at this point, being down as much as you are with as little time you have. It definitely wouldn't hurt them in any way to try it. Excuse me. And Bath, he has shown us that he is able to make clutch plays and able to make veteran-like plays, so I wouldn't be surprised if they put him back in.
Looks like he will not come in and will still be on the bench out of this timeout. So we'll have to see what the Deacons are going to do here defensively and then offensively when they get the ball back. As both teams come back onto the floor with 2 minutes and 30 seconds left remaining. It'll be Packers ball on the near side here, inbounded by Bierenkot. Enters it into Limke. Limke over to Miller. Senior calling for the ball. Shows a lot of experience and veteran in him. Guarded closely by Smith. Screen there by Lyman. They're going to call an illegal screen as he was not set and did extend his arms a little bit. So now we have seen an illegal screen called for both teams, so they're not going to let anything slide. DeKaiser bring the ball up the floor for the Deacons. 3-point attempt, not good on that one. Maybe a little bit of a heat check there, but Hoffer's going to put up the fadeaway, and that one's not going to be good. The rebound's going to come down to, looks like DeKaiser. It looks like they are going to get a foul called on the Packers there. It's going to be on number 22, Peace. You know, if you're the Packers coach, you can't be mad at him trying to make an aggressive defensive play.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's good to see that he's aggressive, that they're staying locked in, they're staying competitive in this game, and they're not letting up at all. But again, that's a great hustle play by DeKaiser to sprint almost from the baseline all the way to half court to try and corral that ball.
DeKaiser for 2 shots at the line as he's able to connect on the first because they are in the double bonus now. That last foul was number 3 for Peace. $14-point margin here as we have just under 2 minutes remaining from Fargo, North Dakota. Tipped pass by Hoffer, it appeared, and it looks like it is going to stay with the Packers. Miller calling the play he wants set up and will now be inbounding the ball. Finds Lyman up top. Pass in the corner to Miller. Brings it out, tries to set up a different play. Nice floater there by Miller in the lane, is able to get it to go, extending the Packers lead to 16 points. It's almost out of range now, isn't it, for the Deacons?
I mean, nothing's impossible, but definitely improbable for the Deacons to come back on this one.
DeKaiser, nice pass there to Shrema. Shrema's able to go up and put in the 2-point basket. That will definitely help, not hurt the Deacons. Miller trapped there, but able to give it over to Limke. Limke right back to Miller. Bierencott, nice pass to Lyman. Nice finish with the left hand by Lyman. Extends the lead back out to 16 with just about a minute remaining in tonight's game. 3-point is open for Hoffer. He's going to take it, just going to be short and rattle down for Lyman to corral. Screen by Lyman for Limke. Packers just comfortable taking some time off the clock, running some time. Miller driving towards the hoop. Fade away, tough shot, but able to get it go. That's one of those plays you see on the highlight reel at the end of the season. Ooh, Miller goes hard into the crowd. Hoffer goes up with a 3, not able to connect, but Miller gets back up. Goes up with a tough shot, gets fouled, goes down hard. We'll have to see if he's able to bounce back after taking 2 tough spills. It looks like he's going to be all right as he's a very tough player. If Miller does make both of these free throws, he will be able to extend it to a 20-point margin for the Packers, as we now have about 4 Packer players checking in for this game. Miller's first attempt is up and good. In games like these where it's a conference game, how important is it to get those younger players in and get them some experience?
It's very important. We've talked about this in the past too, how it can be very difficult just to throw a young or an underclassman into a situation where they're needed without any prior experience. So it's always good to just give them a little bit of exposure to a varsity game, especially, like you said, against another EDC opponent.
Looks like we do have a little bit of confusion on the subbing for the Packers. They are able to figure it out, and we will see Matt Miller's second attempt. Good on that one as well, which does extend it to a 20-point lead for the Packers. Looks like Coach Burns is going to keep in his starters to see if they can prove to themselves that they can bounce back and battle. Hoffer 3-point attempt up and no good as he's been struggling a little bit tonight from that line. Nice rebound by Shrema, goes up strong, gets the 2-point basket, but we do have an injured Packer player here, so we will have an official timeout. Packers able to just run the clock out here as there's about 5 seconds remaining with the shot clock turned off. Well, Andy, we had a game that started with some fast pace and very good tempo. Kind of looked like it was going to be a really good game going down, but the Packers were able to extend their lead and take this victory home. What do you think it was that helped the Packers in getting that big lead?
I think overall it was just energy and momentum, because we saw a lot of times, I believe they hit 4 or 5 threes in the second half, and every time they hit one of those threes, their student section would be up on their feet, they'd be cheering, and so would the parents of the West Fargo Packers. So I think the momentum and energy and just confidence and a little bit of swagger, that's what really led the Packers over the Deacons in this huge almost 20-point win.
Yeah, for sure. That swagger and energy from the crowd is crucial. Even though they're an away team, West Fargo's not that far away. They made it feel like a home game for the Packers this evening. Well, before we wrap it up, we do have some final stats for you. For the Deacons, Hoffer with 15, Shramo with 20, and DeKaiser with 15. And I'm guessing this might be a season high for the Deacons at the charity stripe with 76% from the free throw line. That's crucial for the Deacons, isn't it?
Definitely. They've struggled before from the free throw line, but tonight it was good to see a little more consistency and being able to make more free throws than they normally would.
For the Packers, Miller with 24, Lyman with 15, and Limke with 14. Their free throw percentage not as good as the Deacons, but still at 56%. And Andy, any final remarks before we say goodbye?
I think we've covered it all, but I mean, going into the future, I think the Packers, they have a good team. They have a good team with them. I think they shouldn't have too much to worry about going in the future, but the Deacons, they just got to clean up their energy and a little bit of their offense, and going forward, they should be fine.
Right on. Well, thank you guys for watching. For Andy Simon and our entire crew, I'm Braden Altringer. The final score from Fargo Shanley, West Fargo Packers 79, Deacons 61. To watch the archived version of this entire game and our other broadcasts, go to shanleytv.com. The proceeding has been a presentation of Shanley TV.
This broadcast is presented by American Family Insurance, Ken Craft Agency.